Alrighty, we are live, baby. Let's see what's cooking over here. We are Sunday streaming. What a disaster of a game for the Lions. Holy cow. Feel for you that are the Lions fans. That was some brutal stuff there. Seriously difficult to deal with. As a Jets fan, I don't know how you feel, but I know pain, so I can sympathize with you there. Whew. Tough scenes. 28-7. Go to your first Super Bowl ever and undo it. So, tough times. Anyway, let's dive into it, yeah. Got the Pebble Beach Sunday night research show. I try to get it to red. The red looks all weird on my face. Doesn't zoom in properly. So I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to dive into some timestamp stuff. If you're listening to this post live, we are going to throw the timestamps in there so you can see. You can just find the guys you want to find as you peruse through the podcast/research tool. Okay, here's the vault. Got that going. We got it saved. We don't really have it saved, do we? It's not saving right now, but we're going to get it rocking and rolling. We're going to get myself in the screen here. We got to tinker with the model a touch before we get rocking and rolling. So we're going to get rid of the Sony Open. We don't want that. Just going to get the Pebble. I am running a touch behind schedule here because that game was wild. I could not focus on getting any sort of stuff done without watching that game. So just give me 2 seconds as we go through the thing here. But this is basically what you get from behind the scenes. I wish this would just save, but it's not saving right now. All right. So as you can see, we've got the model going on hot and heavy. Scottie Scheffler, number one. Wonder if he's going to win a tournament anytime soon. But we'll see. We will see. Get rid of some of these guys that aren't playing, like Jacob Bridgman. What the hell is he doing in the mixture? All right. So, yeah, if you guys have watched this in the replay or if you have just been in live, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you over here on Back 9 Bets. I'm going to get this timestamps out. I feel like that's been a pretty solid part of the show. I think for those that watch back again. So I appreciate y'all for doing that. We're going to make sure we keep it rolling for you. And then we're just going to rock and roll. I think we're about close. We're going to start fiddling with the model. Going to get some of this stuff out. We're going to get all this out of the way. I think some odds are up, so I'll have those up on the side and see what cooks in that department. But we are it doesn't make me feel good. It doesn't make me feel good that we've got odds up already, because it means that the market's recalibrating its shizness. So we'll have to see how that all goes. But it is what it is. So Pebble, we got 2 different golf courses. We got Spyglass. We've also got the Pebble Beach Golf Links. So that's basically where we are right now. And we are deleting notes. There we go. All right. So let's go to the model and figure out some stuff. Settings 23. So we've got, let's take a quick peek at the key stats first before we do that. And then we're going to dive into the model here. So key stats, where the hell are you? Also, last week was a disaster. I lost every single freaking bet out there. 1 stroke and we would have cashed a plus 750 Joseph Bramlett top 20, which was brutal, but such is life. Luke List shot 73 or 74 on the final day to miss his T40 by 2 shots. Just nobody doing anything they needed to do. But anyway, we dive in to the model here. Some key stats. Distance, not necessarily going to help you as much around this golf course as you would imagine. Accuracy, okay. Not too shabby. It's normal. The fairways are rather easy to hit. Just don't miss them by a million miles. Strokes gained approach, 2% more than normal. Strokes gained putting, 4% more than normal. So we're going to really zone in on the approach play and the putting, try and figure out who can do it on Poa, we can dial in those ranges. And from an approach range perspective, we've got a lot of shots. 9% more coming from 100 to 125. So we're basically going to dial in on this bucket from 100 to 150. I feel like that's going to be a very important range this week. About 35% of shots come from 100 to 150. And then 24% only comes from 150 to 200. And then we got a bunch from 200 plus, which is about 30% more. So if you just take 200 plus and 100 to 150, we've got about a third of the shots sitting right there. So we'll see what cooks. We'll see what cooks in that department. This course is going to play interesting because we've got, like I said, Spyglass and we've got Pebble. And they play this. These stats are all regarding to Pebble because Spyglass has never had ShotLink, so no one gives a shit about that course anymore. But they're only going to play that course once, and they're going to play Pebble Beach the other 3 times. The amateurs will get out of the way, I think, after 2 rounds, and then we go from there. Typically, the scoring average has been around tour average, depending on which year you play. 2019, 2020 was over par, and then it kind of went a little under par the last 3 years. But it's all weather dependent. And I took a quick peek at the weather going into the week. Thank God this tournament isn't starting on a Wednesday because the conditions are brutal. Absolutely brutal heading into Wednesday. Windy as balls. And then it kind of cools, or not cools up, but holds up. Calms down, should I say, a little more heading into the Thursday, Friday situation. But I could have seen, I think there was a situation where, let's pull up the weather here quickly. Just make sure we're talking some serious stuff because I'm not going to pull any outrights out there until we get tee times because I want to say the weather for the beautiful, beautiful Pebble Beach golf links. This is what I'm talking about for Wednesday. Check this stuff out. Holy buckets, peeps. Like, look at this wind during the day. It's like 17-mile-an-hour wind with 32-mile-per-hour gusts. And then it chills out on Thursday. It gets to about 6 miles and 15. So like the gusts are about slightly below what they're going to be getting on Wednesday. So lucky to be missing out on that. But then Friday, it seems like it doubles up. Like we've got some serious wind again in the afternoon there, about 15 miles an hour with 27-mile-per-hour gusts. So if we got guys going off late in the afternoon, we got a little problem. But it's going to be interesting to see what cooks in that department. We don't get any more than that. So I think waiting on outrights and waiting on placements is going to be important because Pebble Beach, we know when the wind blows there, it can get out of control, completely out of control. So just bear that in mind when you're making your stuff. I think guys going off on Spyglass will typically find better results going into the week in round 1. And then I think sorry, I'm lying. Guys playing on Pebble in round 1 when the conditions are calm are going to find a bit more success. Guys going into Pebble on Friday when it gets windy is going to be a problem. So let's figure out what we're going to do with the model settings to give ourselves a baseline starting position here. Course history. Let's pull that up for this golf course. Historical tournament stats, course history. Data golf, as always, we're going to pull up Pebble Beach golf links. And the course history is pretty predictive. Not about the same as Tory or so. Just a bar lower, actually. So not as much, but still pretty predictive. You can see guys that have played well, have played well in the past. Jason Day, all that jazz. But J-Day, Mayday. Whew, his game seems in complete shambles, but we also saw him do some serious damage shortly after he missed the cut at Wells Fargo, goes and wins the AT&T Byron Nelson. So we'll see how that goes, but I don't really believe in Jason Day right now. Sorry, Spencer. We're going to have to chill out on Jason Day love until we get there. So as we saw on the stats, the last 24 we got there. Cool. We want off the tee, but mainly to do with, I'm not going to really factor in off the tee stuff. Like if guys are completely inaccurate, it's still going to be okay. We just want strokes gained on shorter golf courses to make sure that we've got that rocking and rolling. Bogey avoidance, it's a bit of both. It plays under par, but it also plays over par depending on the weather. The weather does look a little calm, though. It doesn't look like it's going to be that wild. So I think we can see some scores going back into, the under par. It seems like the last 3 years they played rather susceptible golf courses there. So we'll have to probably change the bogey avoidance to birdie instead, do 10% birdie. And then I think we're still playing a medium kind of golf course. I haven't seen too many super low scores. Let's take a peek at what the course has played like over the last little while. Phil Mickelson back in the day, got him in the top 5, got to minus 13, which is quite impressive. That's roughly still 13, still medium golf course difficulty. 2020, we've got also still around about medium golf course difficulty with the top 5 guys at minus 9. 2021 played easy. Definitely played a bit deeper than minus 15 in 2021. 2022, it played easier than minus 15 for the top 5. Minus 2023, we had also similar stuff. So I'd say that the scoring is going to be easy, but I'm not going to go too hard on the easy. Excuse the pun there. We're just going to do, I guess we'll just do the 5%. I think with the wind looking like it is early on, it's going to be playing easy golf. As we can see here, let's take a look at what this is really rocking and rolling with. Yep, good. A lot of good shots from 100 to 150. We definitely need that going into the week. Make sure that that is what we want. Make sure we get this refreshed a little bit. I don't think we actually have the holes correct, but we're going to get there shortly. Like I said, we've got 1 or 2 more additional things to do on this. This is not a 7,765 yard course. So we need to make sure we got ourselves the right course here. Course breakdown, Pebble Beach Golf Links. Here we go. We're going to get the right proximity buckets in here shortly. From 7,700 to 7,060. Quite impressive. Pebble Beach past 71, so that's interesting. We're only going to see ourselves with a casual 13 par 5s this week. Interesting. And moving on from there. So let's refresh this puppy. I don't think the driving distance is going to be 300. Yeah, we'll keep it at 300. I think guys will be still pumping driver, but check these proximity numbers there from 100 to 125, 22% there. All right, so back to where we want to set the model up, and then we're going to rock and roll. Looks like it's doing good stuff for us. All right, so yeah, still lots of shots coming from 100 to 150, and I'm going to actually ramp that up a touch. Just make sure that we're going to manually override that. The key stats are coming in from the key stats, so that's not where that matters. Perfect. All right, so what else do we need to add yet to make this model kind of pop? We've got approach play, we got putting. So last week we never had any power putting, but Fantasy Nationals back up and running, so we can rock and roll with that. We're gonna make these are not Bermuda, these are power stats. Let's change that a touch. Boom. Power. And we're going to change it to 3% putting on all surfaces, and then we're going to make it 4% and 5%. So that's going to get us to 15 total percent for putting. We've still got to find ourselves another. I think approach play is going to be key, and I'm going to ramp up approach play to another 5% for I'm going to override. I want good shots from 100 to 150, and I want them going to be override here. So here today, good shots from 100 to 150. Here. All right, I'm going to override this and get us to 100%. So we're going to have a lot of those shots coming in. I think that's going to be very important. Par 5 scoring going to be important. Strokes gained from that range, all good stuff. And off we go to the races. All right, let's see what the model's recalibrated itself here to give us. So interesting. We got Scottie Scheffler and Xander still first and second, obviously. Where the hell's number 3? Or let's actually go to the other one that we filtered on already. So number 3 is Collin Morikawa after being all the way down at the bottom. So now the wedges and the short game strokes gained off the tee looks like it's going to be coming in hot. Tyrrell Hatton and Viktor Hovland take a bit of a fall backwards there, I think. Got to do with probably their wedge play. Victor's a very good long iron player. Tommy Fleetwood, bro, what are you doing all the way down in 34th? Maybe we've got some Maniac overrides still in the mix here. Let's double check that that's all missing. Yep, we've got some Maniac overrides, which we will be fiddling with ourselves as the night unfolds. Still, Tommy's all the way down there. I'm surprised, but it's okay. All right, let's recalibrate and see where it goes from there. What's Tommy Fleetwood's problem? What's he not really putting too shabby? What's his putting on Power? Is that what the problem is? Finally, and open this year. And hide. Oh, we've also got some weird birdie or better stats situation. I haven't fixed that stuff yet. It is what it is. We'll get there. All right. These are Power numbers. So we've got some guys that Scottie seems to putt better on Power. I guess putts it offline and bounces back online for him. So maybe we like Scottie on Power. Who the hell knows? Collin Morikawa is much better on Power. Interesting. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's dive into it this week. Really curious as to what these guys are doing all the way down there, but let's do this and let's dive into it. I'm going to put this over here. We're going to mainly stick to our Pebble vault over here. And I want to just make sure that I want the course history at the bottom. So we're going to sort by color and see if it jumps us. No, it's not going to do that for us. Because why would it? We want this stuff at the bottom. Sort by color. Come on now. Do it for me. Nope. All right, we're going to take this. New thing. Sometimes it just does it. Like you just paste the new stuff. It will just figure its stuff out for you. But I'm really like my gut feel before I've looked at any stats is going to be Jordan Spieth. I don't know why, but I feel like he's the guy. The course history is going to be nuts for him. We'll see. See what happens. All right. Give us a sorting function here, model. Gosh darn. No, not going to do it for us, huh? Do we have to go to a brand new file? Is that what you want us to do? Oh, you know what? We can just leave it at the top. It is what it is. All right, so let's dive into it, yeah. Get rid of all this jazz. Don't really care about starting holes and tee times. Keep sure we can see our player name here nicely. And off we go. If it will let us click. If it will let us click. Can't be having this kind of lackluster stuff here. Let me just get rid of this one actually. Delete you. Go back to our original one. See what can happen. All right. Here we go. Get our guy's name nice and big there. Beautiful. Finish round. Blah, 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 blah. Get rid of these guys. Hide you. And let's dive into it. All right. That should be nice and bright for y'all. We got some names going on here. All right. Boom. So Scottie, let's dive into Scottie. See what his situation is. What's Scottie been up to the last little minute? Scottie obviously hasn't played yet before. I think we got some big names that haven't played yet before. And before we actually go there, I'm going to pull up this. That is incorrect. Oh boy, we're going to have to open up two things. But we can just see the course history as it goes. All good. Got to paste that in. I'm not opening up the big boy. All right, Scottie, what are you telling us here? What have you done recently? Recently, you finished T17 at the American Express. Not very good for your standards. We're also going to need that. All right. So, Scottie, T2 at the BMW, T5 at the Century, all that jazz. We also need to freeze a pane here so we can make sure that we can see what the stats are. There we go. We are zoomed in a touch, and now we're back. Beautiful. All right, Scottie Scheffler. So what's his situation? The putter's still red wedding stuff, 2023. What's he done on Poa tracks? That's my question. Why is the putting popping for him? Did he putt well at the Waste Management? That's probably, is that even Poa? I don't even know. But putted nicely on the West Coast there is the Genesis Invitational. Is that Poa? So that's solid. So he's got some good love on the Poa surfaces. And I can actually just go in and actually find the putting for us, yeah. Just to make sure that I know what I'm doing. The last 36 rounds for Scottie. Just make sure that we got that going. I'm going to make sure it's Poa. And then we find Scottie. I'm going to just filter by this situation, yeah. Just want to make sure that I know exactly the stuff's pulling in the right stuff here. Scottie Scheffler, 36 rounds. Let's see what they say. So the Travelers was on Poa, apparently. Putted nicely at the Travelers, putted nicely at the Genesis. Travelers, Genesis, Travelers, Genesis. So pretty much anytime Scottie played the Genesis, he's gained putting. So we could expect Scottie to ball strike this golf course to absolute death, especially on the wedge ranges there. Scottie's a beast in the wedge department, I believe. He's one of the better ones. If you take a look at his good shots he gains the most strokes from 100 to 150 in the field. So Scottie's got that going for him. He gains the second most strokes from 150 to 200, and he gains the most strokes from 200 out. So he's the best in the two departments we need the most of him from, which is good. That's great to see from Scottie Scheffler. And the Genesis putting is very, very, very appealing. Is that Travelers? I don't know if the Travelers is Poa, is it? But either way, Genesis is good stuff. So we'll like Scottie in that department. We like what he can do from the wedge range department there. And boy, oh boy, can Scottie Scheffler get things done when it matters. So he's not actually gaining the most strokes entering the week. That's Viktor Hovland over the last 24 rounds. So interesting stuff in that department too. He's fourth. Collin and Xander are second and third. That the T17 there in a weak field over at the American Express Birdie Fest kind of hurt his numbers a bit, didn't it? So that's not good for old Scottster, but it is what it is. So that's Scottie Scheffler. I don't know. Let's pull up his odds over at ESPN here and make sure that we got the right stuff. I'm going to get rid of a few tabs here to kind of chill the back end out. My blood type is O. I found that out today, by the way, for those of you that care about that. Got my blood test results back for some very ho-hum situation stuff, so nothing to concern yourselves about. But I found out that I'm O. I'm an O. All right, let's find out the PGA RGF for Scottie. Plus 775 at ESPN. So basically a single bullet situation for Scottie Scheffler. Interesting stuff. I can see him ball striking this golf course to absolute death. I see 3 of you guys in the chat here. I need your love. Show me some support in the chat here. Send me a bit of some comments here so we can kind of keep the rhythm flowing. Give me some good mojo and all that jazz as we go into it. We've got a power color coding here for power timestamps. Interesting stuff too. And now we're going to start hitting our stride here. So thank you for your patience through the first 25 minutes. I know it's been a bit of a situation here, but 20 minutes in, we've got Scottie Scheffler figured out. I mean, the accuracy is fantastic. The short stuff for him. Oh boy. I hate when it does that. Control Z. We only need, so weighted strokes gained. Unhide. I'm going to hide this. Then we're going to go all the way to weighted strokes gained, which is not too shabby. Okay. All right. Boom chakalaka. So Scottie Scheffler, as you can see, strokes gained insane. Strokes gained insane. Strokes gained insane. So all the stuff that we need him from, strokes gained from 200 out, strokes gained from 100 to 150, first in the field. Weighted good. The good shots for Scottie Scheffler don't come that much. That might impact why his putting is a little shaky, but we know the fact, okay, this isn't pulling in the right stuff, so we're just going to leave it alone. Fantasy National changed the whole configuration of this stuff, so I haven't figured that stuff out, but it is what it is, and we don't have the course history in here either. So we are struggling. We are struggling, but it's okay. We're going to move on. Scottie, 69% of the time is inside the top 10. Impressive stuff, old Scottie. But I'm not entirely sure we want to go there at 7-1. I mean, that just seems like a bit of a tough sledding situation for a guy that's not necessarily winning every 7 tournaments. At least it doesn't feel that way. Xander, next up. To me, Xander Schauffele is a bit of a situation, man. Like I've said many times on the pods, just he's one of those guys where he's got that auto assist on the brake, auto brake, where the moment he gets too close to the lead, he decides to put his body just puts the brakes on. Anytime he got close to the lead over the weekend, miss putt. Like Xander Schauffele is one of the best putters out there, and the guy was just throwing bricks from all sorts of ranges and just struggling to get them in the hole. So we'll see what Xander can get up to. Doesn't look like he's played here before. Has he? Is this really how we're going to be treating us all week? We're going to have to freaking wait on all this stuff. Excel. Let's get rid of some queries as we go along here quickly. Just make sure that we're getting rid of any and all memory issues, so we can see what's going on with Xander. But Xander, I guess, putted nicely at the Travelers, blah, blah, blah. Where's the genesis for him? Yeah, so he hasn't played yet before. We don't have his recent performance yet. Data Golf hasn't popped that stuff out. But, I mean, this guy's consistency has just been insane. T10, T3, T8, T24, T17, blah, 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 just doing his thing. But just not enough. Not enough. He's insane. Like, he's got the second best recent strokes gained, third best recent strokes gained, but got one top 3 over the last 24 rounds. It's just, he's just so consistent, but it's just, he doesn't like to get himself in the mix. Like, he's afraid of the moment, it seems to me. And I don't want to bet on a guy who is 14-1 at a tournament like this. I don't particularly think he's a very good wedge player either. If you take a look at Xander's wedge numbers and stuff, it's actually his worst bucket. So 21st in strokes gained from 100 to 150, no dice there. He's 150 to 200, he's first. And then from 200 out, he's 7. So those are the ranges Xander does well at. It's not, he's going to be struggling with wedges. So this could be a very, very good time to fade Xander. in classic Xander fashion, he could absolutely just fire it up this week. Not necessarily the greatest from I need to figure out my model, but we're just going to deep dive some stuff. But yeah, I'm just going to rock and roll with Xander as a absolute no-go situation basically because there's 20 other guys better in the field at hitting good shots, strokes gained from 100 to 150 and 60 in good shot department. So let's take a quick peek at who the best guys are from Nick Dunlap, obviously. Hardly any data though. And then we go instantly to what the hell is going on here? Sahith Theegala, good wedge player. Brendan Todd, great wedge player. Putnam, Taylor Montgomery is going to be very interesting this week. And Hojgaard, and Tony Finau, Sam Burns. So the good shotters coming from that direction. Adam Hadwin leads the pack. I don't know. We got some demons in the model, but the rankings seem accurate to me. Rory's figured out his wedges a bit, so that'll be a very interesting situation. But he's also he's like 750 plus 750 over at ESPN. So interesting situation in this department. So let's go back to the model rankings so we can start diving down the board here and getting the rest of the guys in the mix. Collin Morikawa. I think this is going to... Jesus, do we go to Collin Morikawa in this department? I think old Collin is going to be really, really interesting to talk about. If we take a look at his strokes gained approach numbers, the weighted good stuff is delightful. He's 7th in the field in strokes gained from 100 to 150, 4th from 150 to 200, and then 21st from 200 out. So he's kind of got a little worse the further away he's going outside of that 150 to 200 range. But wedges are delightful, as always. So we'll see what he can get up to in this situation. The putting for him seems to have got a lot better over the last little while, middle of the pack in that department versus, 63rd generally. So that's good to see. And he tends to putt a lot better on Power. Let's just make sure that is correct. Okay. I wonder if that's pulling in random. Doesn't make sense that that's pulling in all that stuff. Putting on Power. Strokes gained putting. I find it hard to believe that he's 15th in the field. And I'm correct. So we're going to just quickly figure this out. We got some old school stuff. So let's go find the putting numbers real quick. Take a trip through the model all the way to the end here. This is what goes in. This is the back end of the model. So these are where all the numbers come in from. And it's kind of important. Yeah, so your specific putting over the last 50 rounds. So specific putting. Well, we've got two. Either way, we need specific putting AO13. And we want to move this over here and then get specific putting AO15. What was it? AO13. So specific putting AO13. So it's pulling in 20 to 25 feet. Interesting. We want putting for AP 16. All right. So here's some Excel stuff for you guys while we're rocking and rolling. AP 16. Do that. Ding, ding, ding. And then this is also going to be AP 16. Ooh, what's up, John? Sungjae and auto fade till he gets some good results, or is this course a good spot for him to go figure things out? What I guess is a minimal ownership. Interesting. Sungjae is interesting, man. We can dive into him after Collin, yeah. But you got to make sure that this is the correct numbers first. There we go. Collin Morikawa. Okay, so Scottie gets middle of the pack once we fixed the stuff there. Where does this come from? HGEAA. Oh my God. This model is just a complete dumpster fire right now. All right, so 150. I don't think it's even 150. I think it's supposed to be EAAB. So I'm going to go here quickly. I'm pretty sure it's E all the way across the board to 338. That doesn't even make any sense to me. All right, whatever. We're just going to deal with Power just as in general. Sungjae is going to be interesting, man. He's going to be very interesting because he's one of those Xander situations where I don't think he's very good at closing out the deal, but he could potentially play some good golf here. We'll see what he can get up to. Obviously, Max is going to show up nicely too. But Sungjae, as the model shows right now, is not necessarily... Where is he at? He can't be all the way down, yeah. Sungjae. I think I just saw his name, yeah. Sungjae Im, 8th. So he's actually grades out quite nicely. But old Collin, let's just get back to him quickly before we finish up here, and then I'll get to Sungjae for you. I don't think his accuracy is going to be that big of a deal here. The accuracy is important, obviously. The distance, not so much. So he's barely going to miss a fairway. But these other guys can also take care of business when it comes to like getting it done the way they need to. Do I have a specific? Yeah, specific off the tee. I've got to just take care of this quickly. AW14. And then we can get back into it, yeah. AW, we don't even have a 14th. That's the settings. We want the actual off the tee. So what's our number? We want 12. So let's add 12, yeah. This is the joys of keeping a model. It just can go like seriously can be frustrating when new things... When people change the way that they give you your information, it can just ruin shit. So I'm also going to I'm going to take a gamble here and bring in the actual course history. I can't be doing it all backwards, yeah. But I blame the Lions for blowing a lead. So, but I like Sungjae as like a top 20 play or a top 10. It's only going to be, I think, like 80 guys this week. So give me Sungjae for like a safe-ish bet. But his upside right now is just not available. All right. Here's the OG vault that we do have the pensieve set up for. So we can pop that in immediately. For those of you that don't know what the pensieve is, it is where Dumbledore and Harry Potter go and back in the past using memories and random shit like that to kind of take care of business. Take care of business. They kind of use people's memories and they can dive into it and like live those memories out in real life. It's kind of wild. But that's some Harry Potter stuff for you guys. See, there's a new Harry Potter movie coming out, The Cursed Child. Is that a real thing? I'm kind of curious about that one. That should be a fun time. We're going to crash this model, yeah. I knew it was going to happen. But we're going to... Oh, there we go. All right. Good stuff. Boom chakalaka, baby. Let's go. Okay, get rid of all of this stuff. And now we are in business. Close down the big boy and free up some memory, and then we're good to go. Then we should have all of our stuff going in hot and heavy here for course history, which is good. We don't want to be doing stuff in a sketchy ass, half-assed way. There we go. Okay. And this is Pebble Beach. whatever that is. Okay, now we're back in business. Do we have course history going on? Should. Pebble. One other question. Knowing the weather should be goofy, is one course better to play in worse weather? Or, yeah, I mentioned that earlier, and I think you want to avoid Pebble at all costs. Pebble Beach, like the OG Pebble Beach, at all costs if you can, because when the wind blows over there on Pebble, it's a complete disaster, man. A complete disaster. So obviously Maverick McNealy with the best course history I can find. That's going to be hilarious. The guy's recent numbers are pretty atrocious after a very bad performance on Sunday. But yeah, I would lean Spyglass if the weather, I mentioned this in the beginning, but I'll go with it again. The weather currently looks like it's going to be a bit more difficult. The wind's going to double in speed from about 7 to 15, I think, Thursday to Friday. 7 on Friday, 7 on Thursday, 15 on Friday. So you want your guys playing Pebble first so they can get the best conditions to play on the coast there. I think Spyglass goes inland, hidden by the trees and stuff, and that's where you want to go. So Pebble first, Spyglass second. The guys playing Pebble on Friday are going to get windier conditions, and we've seen the scoring gets exponentially worse the windier it is on Pebble. Just not even looking at a statistical perspective, I just know from a fact, like watching and just historically, I know that that's the way it goes. So definitely want to try and get your guys playing Pebble on Thursday when the conditions seem to be slightly better. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to unfold. Wednesday looks ridiculously windy. Maybe that blows into Thursday. Who the hell knows? So we got to kind of keep our cards close to our chest this week, unfortunately, before we really pull the trigger on anything. I'm not going to send guys off into a bad wave. All right. So now this is better. Maverick, boom. All right. Let's go. So Collin, never really played here. The comp course is going to be that Spyglass, typically. The guys that have played in the past will have, and the course history is just going to be bad if they haven't played yet before. So that's just kind of how it rolls. Let's make sure that this is correct, and then we start moving on. Okay, good. Why is it pulling in stuff for Xander? That's what I want to know. Then we can get out of here. Then we start moving back into the thing. This is just the freaking Lions. So there's no stuff for. So Xander, this must have been the US Open. When was that? 2019. Is that when the over under 5.5 Spieth at the edge of death clips, dude? We're gonna see that multiple times, TDAC, before it even on Golf Channel. But yeah, Spieth on the death cliff, definitely going to be rolling in. So yeah, okay. So we can relax about the Pebble Beach having stuff, because I think, was that the US Open in 2019? I'm going to just double check. US Open 2019, Gary Woodland. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we are good to go. All right, let's get back into business. Apologies for the tangent there. Let's rock and roll. So let's finish out Collin here. The recent form, nuts. The ball striking has been great. I don't think he's going to be as rewarded for how good he is and how accurate he is off the tee, but who the hell knows? I think that's going to be an important distinguishing factor. Let's get ourselves the shorter courses. Interesting situation going on here. Does this check out? Kevin Yu, yes. Rory, Corey Connors, Sungjae, Keith Mitchell. So these guys still ball out on those courses. That checks out. Okay. So Collin. Let's get this stuff figured out. Boom, boom, boom. Hide that away. His strokes gains going to be nuts. The approach play is always going to be there for Collin. Always going to be there. But you can see, like, his off the tee numbers, they're about the same on these shorter courses. The guys that kind of lack the distance and lack the accuracy off the tee on the longer courses with distance, just throttle down, hit the 3 irons, hit the 3 woods off the tee box and rock and roll there. So Colin's still going to be solid in the strokes gain department. The weighted proximity numbers look good as well, but his good shot percentage is not going to really be there as much as you'd like, which is really interesting. But we'll see what cooks. I'm not the biggest fan of Collin Morikawa when it comes to, but he putts nicely on Poa. I guess that's got a bit to do with the Genesis. So we'll see what cooks. But Collin, I just don't see him winning in a big field like this again, unless it's a major. He's out for me. I'm out on him this week. So 13 minutes later, we can finally come to a conclusion on Collin Morikawa. Let's do Sungjae for my man John. Sungjae Im at 46 minutes flat. Timestamp wise. Sung Baby. Played here before, not very well. So let's dive into his recent stuff. Old Sung. But doesn't seem like we're going to really like what we see from a course history perspective. Who knows when that came? 2019. He played at the AT&T, so it wasn't necessary. Did they play there twice? Did they play the US Open and the AT&T the same year? That's interesting. I guess I never put the US Open in here because I just faulted on Pebble Beach, but the US Open is in the mix for. Also going to just get rid of this quickly. Golly, we are just backtracking like sons of guns right now. All right, let's freeze the right pane here. Unfreeze, refreeze. Nope, we want to just unfreeze. Freeze the top row. Bang. Okay, Sungjae, let's go. Gosh darn. Sungjae. All right, so we don't have the US Open, but he missed his only cut in 2019. What I'll do is I'll pull up the US Open here for 2018, actually, for this, and we can just take a peek. Oh, for old Sungjae, how did he do at the... Missed the cut as well, shot +9. Yikes. So not the best for Sungjae in that department either. So the 2 times he's played here, he's missed the cut. Ew. John, playing good golf, but not going to miss the cut this week, no cut event. But not looking good from a course history perspective. Maybe the data will tell us why. Been playing solid, 12th best recent form, but some of that's been over in Japan. Plays easy and medium course as well. Dominates off the tee on these short courses because he's just so accurate off the tee. That's his thing. So these courses that are short is his jam. It's been a regulation machine, but from 150 to 200, he's not looking like he's figured his stuff out. I don't know what's going on in that department. We'll have to take a look there. But, yeah, there's not a lot to write home about his wedges. That's a concern. We got to really figure out what we're doing here. So, tough scenes for old Sungjae, my buddy. I'm not entirely sure the ball striking is going to show up at a course like this for him. He's okay on Poa, 18th best in Poa putting. So you're going to deal with that. But just I don't know. I'm not a fan. We've seen there's decent course history here in the past. So the fact that he's missed 2 cuts at this venue, granted both coming in 2019, was a long time ago. But some people don't really like a venue like this. So maybe we leave Sungjae alone, even though he kind of grades out okay in the model. The course history is a bit of a concern. Maybe there's other guys we can go to in that department. Rory McIlroy, friends. Let's dive into all the roars. Let's actually wrap up Sungjae here. Recently, have we seen any good stuff from him? Look how much you have to scroll. The guy just plays golf nonstop. I mean, the approach play's been pretty darn solid. Didn't quite show up on Sunday. Shot a 71. Went backwards. Finished T25. So, none of Sungjae's finishes lately are inspiring. There's no upside there. It's all T5 or worse. And I say that friendly. There's no second place. There's no close call. Farmers Insurance T4 in 2023. That's when he was balling out, So I don't know. I don't know what to make of Sungjae. As you scroll down here, you see less and less dark green until like the FedEx, and then he starts getting his stuff together. But we'll go back to the course history situation there. I'm concerned about that. Very concerned about his 2 missed cuts at Pebble Beach in 2019. We'll see. I could be overreacting, but also as an outright, I'm out on Sungjae. I just don't think he's going to ever win a tournament anytime soon. He's just one of those guys. Okay, let's rechange the timestamp here for Rory to 51 minutes and vamp a little bit until we get there. So off the tee, obviously not going to be booming drives all over the place, yeah? The recent approach play for Rory has been a bit of a problem. Around the green, also a bit of a problem. Is that actually correct? Like, is that what we're seeing from Rory? Golly, the fact that I'm questioning all these goddamn models is bothering me. Let's go to Data Golf here real quick and just take a quick peek at what Rory's been up to. Query tool, last 24 rounds. We want the last 24. Just make sure Rory's stats are making sense here. Ranks. Rory McIlroy. All the way. Yep. Geez, bud. So what's your deal? All the way on, Dubai has been struggling. So let's figure out what he's been up to out there. I don't have any of those things in the model. Been balling out. Struggled at the DP World Tour Championship. Struggled at the Horizon. The Tour Championship, he lost on approach. But Jesus, it's just been insane results. But kind of outside of the Euro Dubai Classic, where he played some good golf there, where Cam Young choked it away, I guess, on Sunday, he's been struggling. So what is interesting with Rory is I saw when he won the Euro Dubai Classic, Desert Classic, his number 1 strokes gainer of his stat categories was off the tee. And to me, I find it difficult for him he does that with length, and he's only going to have a few holes to really, really take advantage of his length off the tee. And that's concerning because he's going to have to throttle back. He's going to have to hit a lot of 3 irons. He's going to have to do that kind of stuff to kind of get himself in business off the tee, because he's just going to, if he hits driver, he's going to run out of fairway. I guess I have a bit of the Dubai stuff in here. Interesting. So Rory's going to be an interesting situation. Let's pull up his US Open. Let's see what he got up to here back in the day. Missed the cut at the US Open, shot 10 over par. What's his course history like? 2018, he also missed the cut. So that's the thing. Hasn't necessarily played his best golf here either. Obviously, we're going to see a lot of guys playing this event in 2018, I guess, in preparation for the US Open. So that'll be interesting. There wasn't any strokes gain data available back in 2018 at this golf course. This is Shinnecock Hills. What am I doing? God darn. Probably Rory McIlroy finished 9th. Gosh darn it. Okay. He finished 9th. What did Sungjae do here? Did not play. Was he even on tour back then? Don't think so. Guy's a youngster. So take that back on Sungjae. Rory finished 9th. Still somehow managed to gain 1.44 strokes off the tee, which was the first. I take back everything I just said. Holy shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. So the guy balled out in 2019 when he played here, gained the most strokes off the tee to finish 9th. So maybe he can still lean into the driver and go from there. But Rory, great option, 71. I don't know. I don't know about him. Like, it took Cam Young melting down for him to win that tournament in Dubai. I don't know. I have no freaking idea what's going to happen this week when it comes to these guys. What's his stats look like? The good shot rate from inside 150 to 200, not very good. Solid with the wedges, solid from 200 and out. That's Rory's profile. Like, he's going to absolutely dominate you. Rory eagled from a bunker on 18 around 3 in Dubai and would have lost to Maronk RFP. Had not chipped in over the green. Yeah. Oh my God. So Moronk also fumbled it away. So Moronk and Cam Young just absolutely fumbled it away in Dubai, it seems. So yeah, send Moronk to live. He's gone RIP there, TDAC. Tough scenes, but there's not Troy like on Poa. He's average on Poa. Not a lot to write home about there. The par 5 scoring is okay. Man, I don't know. I don't know about Rory, man. I really don't know. Max, go to Max. Figure out Max Homa's situation. There's all these good guys, but we go into a golf course that it's really going to figure out, okay, wedges and putting, par 5 scoring, maybe. Like the off the tee stuff for Rory is going to be so interesting. Maybe he still just unleashes on those big boy drives, but it's going to be really, really interesting to see. Max Homa, 16th in strokes gained from 100 to 150, not necessarily the best. And his good shot rate from 100 to 150 is 54th in the field. That's not ideal. So we want guys to be hitting good shots, which means you're gaining over half a stroke on a single approach shot. So that's Max's situation. Obviously, the Poa putting is 4th in the field. That's going to help him. But he's not playing good golf right now, considering he's Max Homa. Like watching him play at Torrey was just brutal. He wasn't getting up to hardly anything like we could see from Max. The putting was a concern. Dive into quickly what Max got up to, like statistically. I know he went on a bit of a run, finished 13th, shot 3 under in the final round, and gained the 7th most total strokes in round 3. But over the course of the event, Max lost strokes on approach at a course where he had his best stuff on approach last year. He had his best all-time strokes gained approach numbers at Torrey last year, and then he lost strokes on approach this year. So his irons have lost him a little bit. It's going to be the putter that saves him, but I just don't trust his wedges. He says he's a good wedge player, but the numbers say otherwise. We can make sure. We can make absolute sure. We can go to Data Golf's profile quickly, pull up explore his approach numbers since January 1st of 2023. I'm going to speak to Data Golf and make sure that they give me some solid numbers. But like this is okay. Like the good shot rates, though, strokes gained per shot with the wedges. What the freaking hell's going on here? His good shots are bad, but his strokes gained are good. So that's what it's telling us. Okay, so that's correct. The good shot numbers are he's going to be having to make so many like long distance putts, because what is a good shot? A good shot, Homa's average proximity is 19.8 feet. So a good shot proximity is 6 feet. So not a lot of his shots are going to be inside 6 feet with the wedge, but a decent amount of them are going to be inside 20 feet. So you make your decision in that department. Max has been struggling on approach, which we kind of identified last week. And, we never played him in hardly any capacity. So we're going to see. The approach play has been blotchy. He's had a few solid goings here and there. I don't see him gaining tons and tons of strokes around Pebble off the tee again. I know that, like good stuff. Rory did good stuff off the tee, but in my opinion, I don't know. I think it's going to require a bit more patience off the tee. And the iron play has been rough. He lost last week, so you can add a few more red boxes in there, a few more negatives after the century, where his putter was just atrocious. Could not get it going with the putter. And if you take a look at what Max got up to with the putter at he only gained half a stroke per round. So that was only 1.5 total strokes in the 3 rounds he played. And round 1, he gained a bunch. Round 2, obviously didn't play there. Round 3 was okay. And round 4 was okay, average. So, all of that came in round 1, mostly concerning for Max. The stuff he does well, not quite firing right now. And then the wedge range, not going to be hitting nearly enough good shots in that department. So we're going to have to leave Max alone, in my opinion, again. Max Homa sitting at 18-1 right now. So we really haven't found a guy that we really like at the odds, weather time, tee times depending. Collin at 22, I don't know. Scottie at 7, I don't know. Let's move on. What is our timestamp here? We're in the hundreds. We're in the hour, boys and girls. Let's get to Patrick Cantlay. 60 minutes. Please, I see 7 of you in the chat here. Really appreciate you guys reaching out, John and T-Dac. And tickle that little like button there for me so everyone can see what's cooking over here on Back 9 Bets. Patrick Cantlay. I think this is a terrible situation for him. He's going to be fine off the tee, but again, off the tee stuff, not necessarily going to be all end all situation. And then the thing with Cantlay is not a very good wedge player. Strokes gained wise, he's the worst we've discussed so far of the bunch since 2023, right? So Cantlay's 23rd in strokes gained from 100 to 150. Not a good wedge player whatsoever. He thrives from 200 plus and from 150 and out. So that's his thing. Power putting is 25th in the field, not ideal. And the par 5 scoring for him is the best in the field. Very, very good par 5 scorer. We love what he can get up to in that department. But again, I don't know how important that's going to be this week because we're missing a third. We're going to be playing Pebble 3 times. So we're only going to get the 3 par 5s 3 times versus multiple 4 times, on other par 72s. So that's the thing. I don't know if I'm out on Cantlay. I'll make this a nice, quick, easy situation. I don't think his game's in control. I don't think he likes West Coast golf as much as people think. And the wedges are going to be a monstrous downfall for Patrick Cantlay. 62 minutes in for Viktor Hovland. We've got the number 1 golfer in strokes gained total entering the week. By the way, Patrick Cantlay was 19-1 to win this week. Viktor Hovland coming in at 11.5 to 1. Old Big Dick Vic, ball striking, number 1 or number 2 behind Scottie. The off the tee numbers for Victor has been incredible. He does well on these shorter golf courses, less than 7,200 yards. Solid proximity from a weighted perspective. But the thing is, most of that's coming from wedges have just not been solid. He's 36th in wedge play, strokes gain wise, and 43rd in good shot rate from the wedges. So I don't know about Victor. Now I wish we got a bit more recent numbers versus just 2023 and that. We need like the last 3 months. So I'll be reaching out to Data Golf, like I said, to try and maybe get some love from them in that department. But his par 5 scoring is not necessarily the best. That is what it is, whatever. And he's the 30th best putter on POA over the last 50 rounds. So, Viktor Hovland at a course like this, Jesus, are we just fading everybody like at the top of the model here for the most part? We really haven't seen anyone who's checking a lot of the boxes outside of like recent form, outside of general ball striking. We haven't found any really incredible wedge players outside of Scottie, but he gains a lot of strokes but doesn't hit a lot of good shots. And we need Scottie to hit it dead stiff. But also, maybe the smaller the greens are, we get the Matthew Fitzpatrick situation where guys that typically avoid hitting bad shots. What's going on, Sia? Yeah, this is what you call the Back 9 Bets research show. Just a little chill out. Nothing too crazy. We are 64 minutes in, and I'm busy deep diving Viktor Hovland approach numbers. He's not necessarily the very best from 100 to 150, which we're going to need a lot this week. So welcome to the show, my friend. This is what we do here. It's 10 o'clock Central Time here in Iowa. And it's just been a fun little ride. We've fiddled with the model in the back end. We've spoke about some Harry Potter references. Viktor Hovland's 5th ranking in strokes gained from 100 to 200, 150 to 200. I don't know if that's going to be of relevance this week. We're not going to see too many shots from that range. He's incredible out of the rough. Like we said, these fairways. Let's take a quick peek at the green in regulation. The fairways hit you. Driving accuracy at this venue, 66%, 70%, 70%, 69%. So you see like tons more fairways hit. Guys that are good out the rough, not necessarily not gonna show up here. So old Victor, it's intriguing, it's tempting. The form is great, but again, we're not necessarily. Yes, here. I'm kind of curious if you got any first round. Since it's late night here, give some people a little teaser maybe in the chat for a little first round inkling that you might have. But we have 2 different courses, obviously, and I think the weather on Wednesday looks scoreable. Looks very nice. Looks very appealing from what Thursday. Sorry, this Torrey Pines stint has got me all backwards. I've calibrated my brain to that, but we're starting on Thursday, so we'll see. I'm kind of curious, though. We've already eliminated Sungjae. He's played really badly at this golf course in the past. Doesn't quite work out for him. Old Wyndham Clark. We'll see what he can get up to. Tends to have played better, 29th and 20th in course history. Although Cantlay's played really solid golf at this golf course. Let's just jump back to him real quick because I didn't even pull his numbers up yet. We haven't even seen what Cantlay gets up to. Why, oh, why? But also, you must remember, all of these AT&T Pebble Beach situations haven't necessarily been the best fields. It's been some average to mediocre fields. All the West Coast boys playing against guys trying to get their stuff together. I think we see like the Rorys and those of the world really showing up on the East Coast for whatchamacallit, and going from there. So I take kind of what I said about Cantlay back to a small degree, but it still kind of stands. If you take a look at his approach play, 2022 at Pebble, lost significantly, averaged 1.25 strokes lost in that department. Then he played really nicely in 2021. Maybe he was a better wedge player back then, and played quite nicely in 2020 as well, 2021, 2020. But as you can see here, 2022 kind of reflects a bit more of who he is right now. And that's a concern for me because I'm not necessarily thrilled about his wedge play heading to Pebble Beach this week. Going to rely a lot on the short game, as always. Putts well sometimes, doesn't putt well sometimes. What are you really going to get from Cantlay on Poa? We've seen him do all sorts of stuff in the last little while. What did he get up to? I mean, he never broke par once around Torrey, South, Cantlay. So that's quite, geez, dude, lost 1.8 putting. In the 3 rounds he played there, he lost tons of strokes putting on Poa last week. Lost on approach, lost off the tee. Just anytime he gets on that golf course, it just eats him alive. So not good, Bob, in that department, despite his recent form also not quite showing up. Ever since we were on him for the second place finish at the FedEx St. Jude, he kind of lost his stuff there. So kind of bouncing back to Cantlay there for a second, but had to make sure we were correct. My man, Zach Jeffers in the house. Holding down the fort. Yes, we are. We are holding it down. Let's dive into old Wyndham Clark here at 69 minutes into the show. Wyndham, he's got solid-ish history around Pebble. I'm not going to really call it that. Is there a reason to play this guy? We are on Sungjae. Off the tee on shorter courses, loses tons of strokes. Weighted good shot percentage. Tends to ball out from 150 to 200. Hits tons of good shots. Not necessarily the best wedge player. Interesting situation. I've always figured he was a good wedge player. So maybe let's just figure that out. Just want to make sure Wyndham Clark isn't necessarily figuring out what his situation is for the approach play. So I feel like that's going to be important this week. If you can find the guys, oh boy, look at this. Good shots. It's like everything from 100 to 150 is not good. The last 12 months, I guess, is a bit more of a rolling situation than since January 1st, but still not very good. This is where Wyndham Clark thrives, is out of the rough. And that's only going to happen 30% of the time. He's impressive out of the rough, but we're going to see tons and stuff from the fairway. And he just doesn't get it done in that department. So we're not really liking that much. I think that's going to be our thing. Like the rough, the good shots out of the rough, strokes gain out of the rough, solid. That's only 30% of each approach shots he's going to have. Not good. Not good. So I'm out on Wyndham. It's an easy situation. You can't have that bad of a wedge play at a course from the fairway like that. I don't know how much you guys could see, if you could even see what I was really speaking about, but I've got Zach Jeffers and myself blocking half the screen there. Apologies for that. Let's dive into Adam Scott. Justin Thomas. ADD kicking hard, even though we've popped a focus pull here. But old JT, let's go with JT Thomas here at 71 minutes or so. Justin Thomas intrigues me quite a lot, because even though he had a bit of a rough year last year, the strokes gained from 100 to 150, pretty darn good. We know how good of a wedge player Justin Thomas is. The strokes gained from 150 to 200, 20th, but he hits insanely good shots. He hits the most good shots from that range. So he'll be knocking them dead. So from 150 to 200, let's find Justin Thomas here. Obviously, we can find it right here. Justin Thomas, over the last little while, we want good shots. That's strokes gained. We want good shot percentage for JT, and he pops up right away. So 9.6% of the time, Justin Thomas is hitting a good shot from 150 to 200. A good shot from 150 to 200 is 8 feet. So JT, 10% of the time, he's got an 8-footer or better from 150 to 200. From 100 to 150, 8% of the time, he's got a 6-footer, right? Because I think that's what we figured out was the magic number there, 6.1 feet. Yes, so a little interesting. I wish we had a bit more recent data on Justin Thomas, but let's deep dive him. He, to me, is the most intriguing of the bunch, because I know how good of an iron player he can be. And then obviously Tony Finau, God rest that putter, might be another guy we look into, because they're very good wedge players. So JT 22-1 to win this week. Let's figure out what his situation is. And actually, I realized I never filtered on a certain stat, which has taken up a lot of memory. Oh, we've actually got that figured out. Okay. So that's good. Let's find Justin Thomas. Justin. Same early speculative round for some. Ooh. All right, folks. Some breaking news here. Some breaking news from our main man, Seamus Power. Some early speculative first-round leaders, Brandon Wu and Brendan Todd. Okay, I can see that. I love the Todd accuracy. I love the Todd approach play. I love the putting. Let's actually see a derailing us here. Let's find Brendan Todd here quickly. Brendan Todd. Then we can filter on his round one stuff and see what cooks. Old Todd father could come in looking pretty. If you filter on his round ones, I really like that as a first round play. His round 4 stuff is disgustingly bad. As he goes through the weekend golf is not for Brendan Todd. Let's pull up just round 1 for old Toddy and see what cooks. I'm assuming we're going to see a lot more. Oh, yes. Take a look at that, folks. The man knows what he's talking about. So over the last little while, we got 4 rounds gained at Wailea, 1.83 at Century, which wasn't necessarily a great course fit. Sea Island, 2.7. Port Royal, 3.5. Silverado Resort, 2.3. So we got some good stuff for Brendan Todd coming out of the first rounds there. I don't know why we don't have a ton of data for him, but it's still loading. So right off the bat, first round situation seems, there we go. I mean, look at this. RBC Canadian, 4.43. We got the Travelers, 4.27. So those are 2 kind of very similar golf courses, if you ask me. The John Deere Classic, I'd say that could be a very similar course too. Where the hell are we playing again this week? We're playing a positional Pebble Beach. So we're going to see some shorter situations. Not going to gain tons off the tee. Some solid approach numbers. The putting can light it up in round 1. Love that play from the Sia Najad first round leader factory. And then we're going to go with Brandon Wu. I think he's played well here in the past. Has he not? We will have to see. pull up his round one stuff. We're going to go with a double dip in Brendan Todd and Brandon Wu. So we got some seriously good name correlations going on. And then Brandon Wu is looking like it's going to be a bit more of a Sia Najad specialty. By the way, Sia, I was listening to your early wedge last week, and I had a Adam Svensson matchup against Emiliano Grillo, who wasn't necessarily playing that great. And guess what? He did play well, and I know you were on Emiliano, and Svensson missed the cut. So I blame you for him playing that well. Thank you for that. Round one for Brandon Wu, not necessarily looking as special as things in the past, but recently been playing okay. Sanderson Farms gained 4.85. The RSM and the Sony gained 2. So he's had a few spiky rounds, Mexico Open, that kind of thing, but my stamp of approval seems a bit more Brendan Toddy than Brandon Wu. I'm assuming we'll probably get better numbers on Brandon Wu anyway. So we've got everybody in here. We've got all my friends. By the way, Scott Holdridge will be joining the show on Wednesday night for the guest portion of Back Nine Bets, and we'll be talking about Family Guy crossovers from the show. Yes. So Scott Holdridge, early leans, Brock Purdy, the Brock Monster, all the way from ISU, Iowa State, baby, just down the road, yeah. And then Sia says the Wu call is more along the lines of recent form and course form. Okay, yeah, I like it. I can see that. Oh, yeah, that's Scott Holdridge. Telling him to go back to bed. Wow, the chat's popping hot and heavy tonight. Love it all, guys. Giving me some good mojo. Let's dive back to Justin Thomas. You think Justin Thomas can get it back together? He played solid golf at the Amex and then kind of on Sunday couldn't quite figure his stuff out. So we're going to dive back to that. Apologies to those listening back on the replay, because the timestamp is off by like 5 minutes. But we're finally getting back to Justin Thomas. But whenever Sia Najad drops a first-round leader thing, you got to investigate it. So we go back to JT, get rid of the round one stuff once the model figures its stuff out, yeah, and go from there. We're going to get rid of this book too once it shows up and see what's cooking. But as we discussed already, Justin Thomas. So, yeah, 6 minutes later, he's getting back to JT. The wedge play, strokes gained-wise, fantastic. The good shots were kind of lacking there a bit, but still very good stuff. The good shots and the strokes gained from 200 and out, kind of disappointing. So we can potentially hope to see a bit of a fix in that department. What does he do? He putts a lot better on POA. Love Justin Thomas on POA. One of the better putters, 14th in the field of the last 50 rounds on POA. Good stuff. Justin Thomas in the first round, nothing strokes gained 4 in the recent form there. So he's more of a long-term play. Doesn't typically get off to the fastest starts either, does he? I did want to check because you can see the amount of good shots that a guy hits here on this database, but it's taking a hot minute, and we want to kind of get into the mood here. But taking a quick peek at Justin Thomas, course history-wise, he's never played yet, so that's fun. But T3, 4th at the Nedbank, 5th at the 40net, T12 at the Wyndham. So since that all started, the guy's been playing some good golf. Been playing some really good golf. He's averaging 2.68 strokes over the last 16 rounds. There's a lot to like about his recent form. He seems like he's playing much, much better golf. So we'll really like to, that round around the Pete Dye Stadium track. And I tell you what, folks, I really hope the wind blows, because if it does, that has got Justin Thomas written all over it. He's one of the best wind players in the field. He's phenomenal around the greens. He's very good on the POA surfaces. There's a lot to be desired in other areas of his game, but it seems like he's playing much better golf. So really like what JT is getting up to. The short game around the green obviously leads the field in that department over the last 24 rounds. Fantastic stuff. So Justin Thomas, 22 to 1. 22 to 1. In a smaller field, I get it. It is a smaller field, but he's the first guy that I really kind of feel like could be a good course fit here. I think the wedges can show up again. This is since 2023, the start of the year. So we had some demons to deal with early on. And potentially, if we get the same Justin Thomas back, we can only imagine that just thinking back to the Amex, the guy was just throwing dart after dart. So Justin Thomas, I like him a lot, but at 22-1, it's a lot of your betting card equity that you got to throw into a guy that is getting his form back, but not quite as much as you would like. Let's check out Adam Scott. There's a lot of interesting situations in this situation. Yeah, a good shots from Adam Scott's happens a lot from 100 to 150. So he tends to pop up a lot, much better in the wedge department. Struggles on the strokes gain front. That's okay. We're looking for good shots. We want guys that can hit it very close. Out the rough stuff is rather disappointing. So that's not going to be that big of an issue this week. Wow. Can't get it together from 150 to 200, and then the good shots come back together there from 200 and out. So that's what Adam Scott's situation is. Putt's solid on Poa, 19th in that department. And then everything else is it is what it is. But let's take a quick peek at old Adam. Adam Scott on the betting board might be an interesting look. 60-1. So that's like the first valued, like deep down the board bet you can find that isn't going to handcuff you early, depending on the weather split. I don't know if there's better numbers out there right now for all of this stuff, but we're going off ESPN right now. So that is as of 10:26 on a Sunday night in central Iowa. Let's speak about some Adam Scott here. What time do we start speaking about him? At about 80 minutes. 80 odd minutes. Adam Scott. The thing with Adam, got a lot of top 10, so he finds himself in the mix quite a lot, and this course history, friends, is going to be delightful to look at. Let's see what old Adam's been up to, and it makes a lot of sense. If he continues to play well with the wedges, Adam Scott can do his thing. T3, that was Justin Thomas at the Amex. Adam Scott, he hasn't played much this year. Been playing a lot of random Euro Tour events over there, wherever. In Australia, I guess he finished 4th. The Fortinet, where's this? Royal Queensland. Last year, finished 6th. The BMW Championship PGA over in Europe, finished 7th. So he's been playing some solid golf recently. Let's see what we do if we scroll up here to 2018 oh my God. What is going on here? Why do we... Interesting situations here. So you've got an MDF, which what is the acronym for that? It's like made cut, but did not finish or something. What does MDF stand for? And we got a miscut. MDF golf. What does it stand for here? Made cut, didn't finish. Yep, pretty much like anyone in their 60s, I guess. But there's tablets for that as well. So the interesting thing about Adam Scott, the guy's gaining over 2 strokes per. MDF is basically edging. Oh my God. Scotty, I love you. I can't wait to chat to you this week. 2018, 2019, old Scotty is gaining over 2 strokes at Pebble Beach, but everywhere else he's losing strokes, especially at Spyglass. The guy struggled hardcore in 2018. Let's pull up the US Open for Adam Scott. I'm assuming he played in that. And guess what, friends? We've got ourselves a guy that we are definitely going to probably throw on our betting card. Yeah. Adam Scott did nothing with the putter, but boy, oh boy, did he find himself playing some good golf at Pebble Beach Golf Links for 4 straight rounds. Played good. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is the first excitement we've seen. The first bit of excitement we've seen so far on the Back Nine Bets Sunday stream. Adam Scott. He just got to avoid the booby traps around Spyglass, but that's only one, and we get himself guaranteed 3 times around Pebble. So he's gained 2.3 in 2018, 2.2 in 2019, and an average of 2.7 in the US Open when they played there. So lots to be liking. 2.6, 3.5, 1.4, 3.2. Lots of good stuff from Adam over there. The putter never really ever showed up once the weekend rolled around. Wow. So he got a little little nervy on the putting side of things once the weekend rolled around, but still a T7 at the US Open for Scottie. And we're going to get Adam Scott over here. And we said 60-1. 60-1. And if we pull up Adam Scott, we pull up his stuff at these other places. Let's go take a quick peek. So we got good shots over here, yes, and good shot value. We want Adam Scott to show. Oh, look, what would you know? Brendan Todd, top of the class here with good shots from 100 to 150. Adam Scott does it 10% of the time as well. So I'll be definitely going back to Sahith, I guess, in this department too. I've been riding him pretty hard. And then Brendan Todd, Sia and Sahith, both OGs, gangsters. Love you guys. Love what we're seeing here. So Joseph Bramlett, oh my God. Almost cashed him for plus 750, top 20, and he missed it by one stroke. Gosh darn it. So is Seamus a move? Yes, I think so, especially at this golf course. And Svensson bounce back. Gosh darn it, Scotty. I don't know. You're asking too many difficult questions here. We'll see. Sahith follows you on Twitter. Wow. Got to have to put in a good word for me there, see? Get Sia and Sahith in the mix. Wow, that's something you don't learn every day. Let's find Svenny. We were talking about Svenny. He burnt me bad. I had him for a top 40, and he kind of took care. Oh, boy. This is looking interesting. All right, so Adam Svensson. We got 86 minutes in. Okie dokie. Never played here before. I guess he's played on Spyglass, but what the hell does that even mean? How can you only have played on Spyglass? Did he withdraw? Okie dokie. Let's take a look here. So Svensson is not a very good wedge player. He's pretty darn good from 150 to 200. So that's going to be a problem. We're looking for good wedge players. He's not. He's also a good wedge player from out the rough. We'll see what happens there. So, have we got ourselves a narrative lineup on my show, courtesy of Sia Najad, Adam Svensson, Adam Scott, with Brandon Wu and Brendan Todd. Okay, let's round it out. We are jumping all over the place. Let's find two names that can, immediately I'm thinking Justin Thomas and JT Poston. We got the double JTs there. Let me know what you think there, Sia. And I think JT Poston might not be a bad shot here, actually, that's Russell Henley. JT's not necessarily the best wedge player, but if you're looking for a namesake, we've got two JTs right there. We got looking at some other names potentially. Oh, Sven did solid. Okay. We've got Ben Griffin and Ben Taylor. No, we got Ben On and Ben Griffin that you can do. We got Taylor Montgomery and Taylor Moore. That sounds quite interesting, but I do like the two JTs. I like those two JTs there. That seems like the way I would rather want to roll. Justin Thomas, Justin Sir can also do that, but I like the two JTs, especially with how JT Poston's balling out right now. All right, back to what we were actually doing. So Adam Scott, love him. Who were we talking about? Adam Svensson. Let's at 86 minutes in. So Adam Svensson, let's dive into his stuff. Let's see what his situation was when he played. So you said he gained strokes in 2022. Jesper Svensson. Who the hell is Jesper Svensson? 2022, he gained strokes. There he is. Why is he not showing up for course history for us in the model? Going to have to figure out what that situation is. So yeah, I had that one good round in 2022. 2019, not so hot. And then his second round in 2022 was average to slightly below. So interesting situation there. Ben Griffey Jr. Yes, Ben Griffey. Peter Griffin will be on there. We'll be talking about Peter Griffin on Wednesday. So I don't know. You know, the T49 is a concern to me. The wedge play in general, this could have been a bit of an outlier in my opinion. See, I don't know. Oh my God. So there's a person actually called Jesper Svensson. Interesting. The more you know. This is what you find out here on Back 9 Bet Sunday stream. So Jesper Svensson got T-Dac betting the guy. Actual human. Monterey Peninsula. we're not going to be playing that this week. So Spyglass, he lost a bunch on, and Spyglass, he lost a bunch on. Not good. So I don't know about Svensson. Guy burnt me badly. I've got like second degree burns there. Bet him in a matchup and a T40. Missed the cut in epic fashion. So I don't necessarily know how much I feel about that. Why is he not showing up on course history? Yeah, that's interesting. He should be. He should be. So we got to figure out what the situation is. Yeah, but that is neither here nor there. No, doesn't want to show up. Okay, whatever. I don't really care about him either way. And then we had, let's talk about Seamus. I think we can definitely, is he even in? Yeah, he won last year, didn't he? Yep, he did. Okay. Jesper Parnevik, certified baller. Yeah, we got boys going out here like crazy. All right. So we got 91 minutes in here. We're going to talk about Seamus Power, who's it's the red wedding fully across the board over the last 24 rounds, Scott. Not good. Easy scoring conditions, good for him. And also, I think he's a certified guy that you want to be playing on these shorter courses. He loves, if you think about all the stuff that Seamus Power has done in the past, he won at Bermuda. He's played very good golf on these short courses. So he's definitely someone, and I think the course history here is phenomenal for him. Here's his course history, yeah. 16th and 10th. Wasn't he? Didn't he go back? He shot 66, 66 in the first two rounds, and then I think shot level par around Pebble. So I don't know if that's going to be he's 64, 64, and then shot. Why is the why is Pebble a par 72? What the hell is going on? Is it different this year? These people changing the pars on us, yeah. Scorecard, Pebble Beach golf course. Par 72. So what is Fantasy Nationals throwing out a freaking par 71 on us for? The second hole, apparently they made that a par. I guess you can call it a par 4, whatever. All right, whatever. All right, let's move on back to Seamus here. So we've got some interesting situation with old Seamus. He's always played well around Monterey, which we won't be getting at all this week. He's, granted, I'm lying. He played well last year, not so hard prior to that. And his Pebble Beach rounds are. So he shot the 64 around Pebble in round 2. So he can go low. He likes this golf course into some capacity. Missed the cut after shooting a 72 at Pebble, gaining a quarter of a stroke. So this dude likes this course. I wonder, because the thing is, he's been injured and played at the Century T50 and then made the cut at the Sony. So he's been okay, and it's mostly the short game department that's been taking care of business. Off the tee's been looking goshly fine. Guy's been pretty neutral off the tee, which is good. That's good to see. The approach play, not so good. So that's what old Seamus' situation is, Scott. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about that. Seamus Power, though, is probably going to be ridiculously long odds. Scrolling down the board. 2. It's 300 to 1, Scott Holdridge. Do we get some Scott Holdridge magic here? Is Seamus a first-round play? I don't know. Does he bounce back at a venue that he's played well at before? Does the irons just show up out of nowhere? He's 300 to 1. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. What does he do on Power typically? Very good on Power. 300 to 1. I mean, it goes right along with the narratives right now. Guys are in the triple digits. They are prime targets to win golf tournaments at the moment. The old Scott Holdridge here with the Seamus Power 300 to 1 call in the chat at a casual 10:40 Central Time. Let's move on back. I mean, look how far we got. 62nd in the model. Gosh darn it, Scott. Finishes inside the top 10 minus 1% of the time. That's takes some seriously good stuff in 2023. So yeah, he's definitely back in the field here because of recent performances. But we'll see what cooks. Let's go back to old Luddies, who, by the way, cannot putt on Power. That is going to be a situation to monitor in the future because we've got a situation with old Ludvig Aberg where the putting has been sputtering. Sputtering is a very friendly term for that. I mean, here's the guy, T9 last week. And in rounds 2, he lost. But the thing is, it was like he 4-putted a hole. He 4-putted a par 5. Where is that? Was that on Sunday? There's a par 5 that he 4-putted. So that's not going to show up here. Was it the next round? Was it round 3? Oh, no. It was round 2. Yes. Yeah. Look at this situation down the stretch. He just got into a complete spaz. He in round 2, he 4-putted. He lost 1.85 strokes on hole 13 putting, and then another full stroke on hole 14. So almost 3 strokes in 2 holes. Went full Hideki. You never go full Hideki. So that wasn't good. But outside of that, it's like if he just avoids those, yeah. See, your tweet went viral, dude. That was impressive. I loved it. How many people? Yeah, he was putting for eagle. He was. So I saw you post the Danny Lee video, and it was. I mean, it looked like Ludvig, didn't it? So yeah, check Hideki. Should we go check out Hideki quickly? Check Hideki in round 3? Take a look at this, friends. We're just going to pull up just complete tangent. He has Hideki in round 3 at Torrey. He went 3-putt. I think his tracker said he 3-putted 4 of his 5 holes. So I guess the ones he 3-putted, 2-putted, but probably missed a shorty after chipping it close. 3-putt, 3-putt, 3-putt. So brutal stuff for Hideki. Lost himself a casual 3.5 strokes putting on the way in on the back 9 on Saturday. So and still finished 13th. Can you believe it? What an incredible situation. Complete tangent there, but let's dive back into Ludvig Aberg's situation. Yeah, it's what? 2 million views. Oh my God. Jesus. That's insane. Utterly insane. Do you think we can put it up? Let's see. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go. Oh my God. Yeah. So this is like when it starts getting out of control. This putt is the best, eh? Yep. And just the same pace from putt to putt. He doesn't like go faster, doesn't go slower. It's just nonstop. God damn. Keeps going. Did we ever figure out how many strokes he lost in that situation? Woo! Brutal stuff. 2 million views, I see. 2 million. Not lying. Wow. Incredible. 3,000 likes. That's insane. Insane. All right. We will be talking about Ludvig. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, he's right at the top. All right. What is going on in this guy's world? Obviously, the RSM. So he finally showed up. I don't know if Ludvig likes Hawaii. He played some really bad golf in Hawaii. I don't know how his driver. I mean, we saw Rory McIlroy lead the US Open in strokes gained off the tee. That was in 2019. I don't know if, Pebble obviously will require them to maybe hit 3 woods a bit more. But Ludvig, the putter at the plantation course went rogue again a little bit. But for him to have 4-putted He 4-putted and still only was neutral on the greens. In fact, he gained. So like he did solid. Round 4 was a problem. I think I saw him miss a short one. Bounce back again in round 3. So we're going to have to figure out what, but I mean, he's just due for a bad miss here and there. All right, see ya. Catch you later. Got to roll. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. We'll get you on the show for Fraser sometime, by the way. So keep your golfer comps ready for that. We're gonna get you on Hacking It in Hollywood for Fraser. That's my live on air call out to you there. So Ludvig, he can make putts, but he can also just miss them in bunches. I don't know. What is his short game profile look like when it comes to old Ludvig? I'm kind of curious as to what his wedges look like, because it'd be important this week. I don't think he's a very good wedge player. He's not a good wedge player. Last 12 months, it's actually very bad. So we'll have to leave him alone. From 150 to 200, he's very good. From 200 out, he's also okay. That's the problem. We are out on Ludvig because of the wedges. They are just not nearly sufficient enough for old Luddy. Have no idea what time we started speaking about him. 86 minutes after Adam Svensson. Would we say 90? Was it 90? Did we speak about Seamus at 90? Spoke about Seamus at 90. So let's make Ludvig 95. Yeah, maybe 97. I don't know. We went on we watched a whole bunch of stuff about Danny Lee. So fun times. Ooh, okay. Eric Cole. This is going to be interesting. Eric Cole on the betting market. I don't think he's ever going to win a tournament. He just seems like he can't do it every time he gets into the mix. But Eric Cole in a big event like this, where is he? 50 to 1. I don't know. I'd rather take Adam Scott at 60 to 1 if I were to pick in that range, but 50 to 1 for a guy that's never won before. We'll see. Talking about Eric Cole at 102 minutes. Ball striking's fantastic. That's Aberg. Recent form has been great. Can't hit it off the tee. If you take a look at the strokes gained from 100 to 150 is very good. Strokes gained from 150 to 200 is very good. Poa putting is average. I don't know how much he's ever played on Poa. I don't remember too much Eric Cole last year, but maybe he can get it together. Obviously, the Farmers was not a very good matchup for him, and it ate him up alive. But I think even on the North course, he sucked it up. I like Eric Cole. I don't know if I like him to win the tournament. Definitely like him as a DFS player again. I think he's going to be great from that department. He's going to be probably very affordable. But we'll see. We will see what Eric Cole can get up to. These are good shots from 100 to 150. Cole, not the best. So I might be out on that just alone. American Express, you see, like this is the thing. He has his one round of tournament where he kind of just gets stuck, and it's usually on a Sunday if he's not in the mix. Look here, the Sony Saturday to get into the cut sucked. I mean, once the weekend rolled by, he kind of climbed the leaderboard. But just on T3 at the Shriners, gained 6 strokes total, but was not ever really in the mix until then. You know, like it's when he needs it most, he can't close out. And that's the thing for me. So I'm out on him. We're just going to leave him alone. Love him, but I'm out. Okay. Byeong Hun is typically good at clubbing down. The guy obviously has got immense length off the tee. We almost won our first outright of the year at the Sony, thanks to Byeong Hun, until he bricked a 4-footer. $6,600, 66 to 1 for Byeong Hun. Let's speak about him here at a casual. 105 minutes. Benny On. So strokes gained 23rd from 100 to 150. Great at good shots from 200. So he's going to dial it in on those long approaches. Love that. What are the green regulation ratio? Even though they're so small, they're above average, even though the greens are smaller, but it's been a little higher when the weather's better. So that's the situation there. Benny On. That's not his name. On Byeong. Do we go back to this guy? Look at this recent form. Since the century, it's just been, he's gained in all 8 rounds of his golf, finished 4th and 2nd. I feel like the Sony's not a terrible comp for this golf course, although the problem is at the Sony, he never really gained all that much. But the Sony is also, it's kind of wedge intensive, isn't it? Or is it more of that 150 to 200 range? I think that's more like it, actually. And I think that's a range he's not necessarily the very best at. Yeah, it's actually his weakest area. So this guy can hit stingers from 250 yards with a 3-iron to 13 feet and miss the eagle putt on the 18th hole on round 4. But I think I might just be going back to him. The fact that he does okay on the strokes gain in wedge department's fine. And then I love what he can do on the long shots. I think we're going to see a lot of love from him there. But the strokes gained is a problem. But also he's playing so much better. Playing so much better now. But the irons recently, it's all putting. Look at this putting. The last 7 rounds, he's averaging over stroke putting. He balled out, obviously, at the Sony on the final day. But the iron play since the FedEx St. Jude has just been bad. I don't know. I like him. Does a lot of the damage off the tee. I don't know if he can do that here. But we've seen Rory can do it. Guys, help me out here. Are we going to be playing guys that can gain off the tee like Rory and Benny? I'm struggling to figure out what we're trying to do with this because its distance isn't important. But yeah, we were with Rory, completely demolishing that course in 2018 or 19. I don't know. I think you just got to. But also, is it because the guys with distance, what the hell did Rory get up to? How did he do this? I'm really, really, really interested in what he did. So was it all distance or was it accuracy as well? So over the course of the event, let's actually pull up everybody for the US Open when Gary Woodland won. Xander gained off the tee incredible amounts and was mainly due to distance. Louis Oosthuizen hit a ton of fairways and was not anywhere remotely close to gaining a stroke per round. What did the guys that gained all that stuff? It was a little bit of accuracy and a decent amount of distance. It's distance that got them all the. There's a few guys that did it with accuracy, but a lot of these guys did it with driving distance. Patrick Reed, 15th in driving distance at the US Open. Someone explained to me what that situation's like, but that was 2019. I don't know. Duffner did it with accuracy. John Rahm, distance. I don't know. So I guess guys that have distance, when other people might have to hit a 3-wood, they can hit 3-wood and still hit it further, but driver, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. So I guess if distance is a prerogative and, Benny on these shorter courses, take a look at what he gets up to. He typically does okay on these shorter courses. If it'll let me click it. Yep, not responding. So we're going to go back to here. The off the tee stuff has been great. What is Benny on? 66. We already discussed this, Brian. Okay. I don't know. So Byeong Hun An, if you take a look at his off the 32nd on these shorter courses, so he still does okay. Aberg does fantastically, but the wedges are a problem. Byeong Hun An with the wedge is like average. So I think I'll still go to him at 66. I think he's playing too good. Just playing too good right now. Playing too good. Oh boy, Nicolai Hojgaard. Boys and girls, what are his numbers? 40-1. Son of a. Still not terrible. Played nicely. Finished second last week. If you take a look at what old Nicky does, where's his stuff? Guy's apparently very good. Look at this. 10% of the time, 104 shots from 100 to 150. Old Nicolai. Let's pull him up here. I'm really interested into what, I mean, if he's a good wedge player, this is the place to play him. I mean, we want his approach play from one. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What are we doing? What are we doing with this dude? Incredible wedge player. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 guys in this field that are better than him. Interesting stuff. Since 2023, I guess that changes it up a tad. Yeah, so that's why that's showing up. It's all the way down here. But over the last 12 months, it's even better. So that's good to see. That's good to see. Love what's going on with Nicolai Hojgaard. Definitely going to be in the mood to bet this guy, even at 40-1. Power putting. I mean, what did he do at Torrey last week putting? I think he was rolling in putts like crazy. And I think his situation, I was watching a lot of he lost in round 3, but he gained overall in the week. And the thing is, Nicolai, his lag putting isn't very good. And with these small greens, the green sizes here are like, it doesn't give us green sizes, but they are typically smaller than normal. And to me, that is exciting. I think he's a better short-range putter than he is a long-range putter. We don't have a lot of data on that department, but sign me up for Nicolai Hojgaard. I think I really like him a lot this week. I think I like him a lot. Those wedges are too good to get away from. Only outright you place is Hojgaard, T-Dak. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to. Are you betting at ESPN, or are there other numbers out right now? Nothing at BetMGM. I mean, nothing at Thingymabob, DK. FanDuel won't have anything out, will they? Surely not. No. President's Cup, if you want that kind of action. So ESPN, the only book that's got them out right now, from what I can see, 40-1. Do you think we get better than that? You think we get better than 40-1 when other books come out? I can't imagine. I feel like he's going to get. I mean, if you Euro boys are on him, the Jesper gang, we got some problems. So, that may have to be where we go. I'm gonna. Maybe we catch a 50. Oh, ESPN lets you cash out. Okay, let's go. Cool. Here we go. I'm gonna bet it right now. I love the wedges. I mean, that's all that we need. And the form is great. We obviously know he's comfortable hanging around the top of a leaderboard. 40-1. Let's go. It's got the same odds as Jason Day. We've been playing like shit. 40-1. Boom. Boom chakalaka. Let's go. Let's confirm your set limits. No, we want to just bet. So does it let me bet? Where did it go? There we are. All right. Nicolai Hojgaard. Place the live bet, baby. Off we go. And we can cash out. I think I see that. Yes, you can cancel the wager. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Nikki, let's go. Oh, Nikki, you're so fine. You're so fine. 40-1. Hey, Nikki. Boom. Wedge savant. Beautiful stuff on the wedge department. We hope for the recent form to show up. And obviously the distance. I mean, this guy's got incredible distance, but the accuracy is a bit of an issue. Typically, I guess maybe not so much. Interesting. Why did he look so inaccurate over at Torrey? What's his situation? Yeah, the accuracy is not good. But, I mean, maybe he just drills 3 irons and stuff. But love what we're seeing there on the wedge department, friends. Okay, moving on. Moving on to Taylor Montgomery. Also, Jesus, I might just have to bet this guy top 5 because I don't think he's ever going to win a tournament, but I know for a fact he's a great wedge player. Great wedge player, and he putts well on power. Like, he does the 2 things very well. And guess what? He kind of hung around the mix. He hung around last week. Where did he finish? P13. But this is the roller coaster ride that you get with Taylor Montgomery in round 4. Double to take himself completely out of the mix. Then he birdies the 6th hole, bogeys the 11th. That's a tough hole. Birdies the 12th, bogeys another par 5 on the 13th, birdies the 15th hole by chipping it in. I think he'd never putted either days over the weekend on the 15th. He holed out from a million miles away to finish T13, gaining 2 strokes putting last week. But I don't think he's a very good long iron player. I think he's a great wedge player. So Taylor, if we take a look at him, it's going to, I don't even have to. He's right here. 11% of the time hitting a good shot from the fairway for Taylor Montgomery. And then it gets worse and worse as you get further away from the hole. So he's one of the best power putters and he's playing some solid golf. So give this guy wedge after wedge. I'm in. But what's Taylor Montgomery's odds? I don't think he's ever going to win a tournament, though. That's the problem. That is the problem. Taylor Montgomery, he's probably going to have pretty good bad odds, too. 80-1? 80-1. Maybe we find something. I mean, if we bet these guys, we're typically betting them with top 5s over here on back 9 bets. 81 seems like what? They ditch that by 5 for top 5s. You divide it by 5 or 4. So you're going to get a 20-1 for a top 5 for Monty at a course that wedges and putting. I mean, and this putting has got worse since the beginning, like the end of last year. He's a very good putter in general. So I think he can putt well on power. I really like his chances. I just don't know if I like him to win a tournament, though. Don't know if I like him to win a tournament. Tyrrell Hatton. Moving on. Okay, what were we doing here? So 115, 105, 115. Tyrrell Hatton. Let's talk about Tyrrell Hatton. I don't know if I'm a big fan of Tyrrell Hatton. Yeah, his strength is out of the rough. His strength is the mid iron range and long iron range, but the wedges are not necessarily Tyrrell's best friend. I don't know if he's a good power putter either. I don't know how many rounds he's played on power. We'll have to see. Doesn't necessarily thrive on these shorter positional courses either. We'll see what Tyrrell can get up to, but I don't think I'm necessarily going to be doing too much Tyrrell Hatton in this situation. So we'll just leave Tyrrell Hatton right out of the mix and kind of move on. Denny McCarthy at a casual 2 hours into the show. Denny McCarthy. Let's take a look at Denny. Got some good course history, played nicely around Spyglass. I think he also had a Saturday round 1 or 2 years ago where he went bonkers. and took care of absolute business when he needed to. Like, I think he almost broke the course record around Pebble Beach. Can't type right now. Where's Denny? Denny. Dennis Mara and Denny Kluth, 2 other Denny's in this situation. Okay, Denny. T5 at the RSM really hasn't come out firing to start the new year again. Also, maybe not a Hawaii guy. But the putter started showing up again in round 3 and round 4. That looked better. The driver has left the building. Not good, and has never been good. But also at a shorter course like this, we'll see. Lots of top-end results, and the guy's due for a breakout. I know for a fact. I mean, look at this course history. The T4 year last year, it was round 4. He made an absolute charge up the leaderboard. Guy gained 7 strokes on Sunday. Typically played nicely on Pebble. Gained in round 1. That's the American Express. We've got some random stuff going on here, but gained again, nothing too crazy. And I mean, that's 2018. That's not the same Denny. So there's a lot to like from Denny, especially like we know he can get hot on this. Like, look at this. He went unconscious the last time he played here. So there's seriously good vibes. Shot 3 rounds in the 60s. And the Spyglass round was pretty solid too. He's played some good golf on Spyglass. Some very good. I mean, back in the day, he balled out on Spyglass there. Oh my God. Like, this guy's a Spyglass guy. In the 3 rounds of golf he's played at Spyglass, he's gained 3.5 strokes average, total of 14. So yeah, Denny McCarthy, what's his number? I mean, are we just gonna be scattering in randos here? 50-1. Very good power putter. Best in the field. Hasn't got his win yet. Not necessarily coming in with the best form, but the iron play kind of is coming back together. You know, it's like trending a little bit. What is his wedges situation like? What's Denny's wedge situation like? Not the best. Not good at all, actually. Why, Denny? Why? Why aren't you a good wedge player? You know who is a good wedge player? Is Tom Hoge. Tom Hoge's a good wedge player, isn't he? Also, Tom Hoge. It's just look at this. He can do everything. He's the second best ball iron player in the field, but nothing is better than 63rd. 41st is his putting. It's just complete shit everywhere else you look. But Tom Hoge's won here before. The guy's a great wedge player. Take a look at his wedge play. 18th, 29th. Solid shots from 200 plus. I mean, the guy's just across the board is fantastic. And putts better on power. I guess that's probably from the 4 rounds that he played it. When he played here, played really nicely. Tom Hoge. But the thing with Tom Hoge is we've seen nothing. No good form whatsoever the last little while. So we're looking at the best finish was at the BMW Championship at Wentworth in Europe. Finished 14th. 13th at the Sandersons. 19th at the Scottish. This is when we thought the putter was back. And it kind of has been. The around the green play is a massive concern, obviously, always. Oh, man. Played some solid golf around the Pete Dye course over the weekend. So, Tom Hoge, people, what on earth do we do with him? We know how good of a wedge player he is. We know he's played well here in the past. Was the win the only outlier? No, he finished 12th here in 2021, the year before the 2022 victory. the 22 victory, he just completely demolished Pebble Beach in round 1. Putting and didn't even gain a stroke on approach to shoot a 63. Just putted lights out, chipped lights out. Incredible stuff. And then when in round 4, he gained 3 strokes on approach when he needed to. So that was impressive. That was very impressive. I think he was just knocking wedges stiff. So that was good to see. Yep. What's Tom Hoge's situation? Probably going to be massively long odds, which I'm totally cool with. Where are you, Tom? 100 to 1. I mean, if we can cancel, I'm just going to bet it right now. If we can cancel these bets, that's perfect. So, betting Tom Hoge at 100 to 1. There we go. So we got 2 bets, Nicolai Hojgaard and Tom Hoge. We can cancel them. We can cash them out on ESPN. What did he do here? In 2023, T48. Yeah. we like the triple-digit guy. Could get it done for us. The approach play, with Tom Hoge at any given moment, it's been pretty solid. It's been there around the green stuff that's the problem. And now, the thing with Tom Hoge is if he can avoid just getting himself into situations where he has to chip, the green regulation rates here are pretty darn high. We've already figured that's like 70% of the time. That's the average. Tom Hoge is most likely going to be doing even more green regulations. So, yeah, Tom Hoge, let's go, bro. I like this. I mean, I like it so much that we've bet you already at 100 to 1. Now, Russell Henley. What on earth are we doing with you? Wedge player for days. Solid long iron player. Love to see that. Throwing putting, 40th. So better than his normal putting. Interesting. What's his course history like? Course history for Russell Henley. Only played Spyglass. So what the hell is going on with these random guys that have only played Spyglass? Why is it not pulling their stuff in? What is going on here? FD 18. Did we manually over? Why are you not pulling in numbers here? This is not even open. This is history. Super weird. Is it because of what are we doing? What are we doing? Russell Henley. Where are you? Yeah. So is that your actual number? Sorry, folks, we are losing a bit of traction here in the late little bit. Russell Henley, just make sure that why is his stuff not pulling in? 1457, Russell Henley. Yeah, that's his right number. Why is the history not pulling in? I don't know. Frustrating stuff. Either way, let's take a look at his stuff. All right, let's go back to Russell Henley. I mean, he's a great course fit here, isn't he? Played well at Hawaii. Almost came back up. Was in the lead at one point. Played nicely at the RSM. I feel like this is a great course fit. He's super good. Where have the irons gone, Russell? Where have the irons gone? He's not nearly as good of an iron player as he once was, is he? I mean, it's been pretty solid since the Wyndham, but I mean, he's man, dude. That's interesting. Where have they gone? I mean, look at the around the green play when those went south. Solid. Off the tee stuff, solid. What is the course history like for Russell? Yeah, miscut and T15. Played nicely at Pebble. Played nicely at Pebble. Played very badly at Pebble in round 3. I don't know if I can do Russell Henley. What are his odds? Why are we just looking at a whole bunch of losers down here? 50-1 for Russell Henley. Where has the iron play gone? Look at this dark green stuff up here until recently. It's just been very mediocre. Man, since the RSM, he's losing on approach. Even if you take out that round at Kapalua, it's barely gaining. I mean, the guy's gained 2 total strokes in 10 rounds when he's like in the past been gaining more than that in one single round. Not good. Not good for Russell Henley. And we've got mixed results for him at this golf course. So we're out. Not in on him. JT Poston at 100. We are 156 minutes. We are looking at 127, 126 for him, and then 131 for JT Poston. Whoever's in the chat here still, I really appreciate you. I know it's late. So JT Poston, let's see what you can do. Got 24 rounds. Look, I mean, obviously the course history here is phenomenal. Playing some good golf. Not a good wedge player whatsoever. And what's his Power situation? Not good on Power. Oof, there's not a lot of good things for Poston here, is there? The recent form, very nice. I just don't know about what's his course history like. Did we see? Does it have it for us? Is it pulling in for him? Bad. Not good. Wonder because it's probably the wedges. 68th. And did not do very good either in the round 4 there. Played very badly, in fact. But it's starting to look like his game's coming in the right direction. But the approach play, it's all putter for him. It's all putter. The Century is a wedge fest to the large degree, and the approach play was slightly losing there. I don't know. I like him. I just don't see him hitting enough good wedges to play good, yeah. Let's talk about Rickie Fowler at 133 minutes and move on right on to Jason Day. There's absolutely nothing I want to talk about Rickie Fowler for. The last 24 rounds, he's been disgustingly bad. Like, it's not good. What's going on here? Sorry, just repositioning the chair here. Not good for Rickie, despite what numbers would tell you. It's like the guy's just left the planet. Not a good power putter either. So moving on from Rickie, a casual, quick little move here to Jason Day. Now we're going to have to vamp for a few seconds because we can't do the same guy for the same time stamp. I'm not doing seconds for these dudes. Jason Day, course history, phenomenal. Obviously. I mean, the guy just balls out. So what has he done here at this golf course? And is he going to do what he did at the Byron Nelson? Because he's been playing very bad golf the last little while. Played nicely at the Century in the round 4. Kind of shot up the board, I guess, early on, and then kind of whittled away. The American Express, he made the cut. But last week was not good. At a golf course he's played very well at in the past. That was not good. Why is this in... Okay, let's go to his course history, which will be amazing. Hasn't won yet. Has he ever won yet? 2nd, 4th, 4th, 7th, 24th. That's what you're getting from Jason Day. Did he not play here in 2023? Does not look like it. Pebble Beach has been his bitch. 7 strokes gained in round 2. Then lost half a stroke in round 4. The putter disappeared on a Sunday. Jason. I mean, if he does ever win, it's going to be here, but we don't get good numbers because of the course history. Where's Jason Day? Where's Jason Day? Why can't I see his name here? Justin Rose, JT Poston. 40-1 for Jason Day. I don't know. Don't know what to make of this. Because it was not good. It was not good at the Farmers whatsoever. Just everything. Once he got off the tee, he did the same thing off the tee again, but couldn't do anything right. Man. Only went 1 under par on the easy course. Not good at all. So I don't know. At 40-1 with this kind of course history, it's tough. It's tough to leave that alone, but I'm out. I can't do it. Rather like Nicolai Hojgaard. I wonder what Sam Burns, I mean, is he coming up here? I'm going to jump to Sam Burns. Why is he all the way down in 52nd in the model? Because the recent approach play has been bad. Interesting. Good shot rate from wedges is very good. Like to see that. Very good putter. Not a good putter on Power. That's not good. But he's a good wedge player. Has he played here before? Yes, he has. Take a look at Sam Burns. I'm jumping around here. Kind of start honing in on some guys I like before the night ends. Sam Burns. Let's take a look at what are his odds. Probably pretty 40-1 for Sam Burns. Okay. Let's take a look, Sam. Burnsy. I also want to see what his situation is. Sam Burns, T6. Obviously, guy was balling out and then gave it away to Nick Dunlap. So shout out to Sam Burns for doing that. T50 at the BMW. Excuse me. Gained shot a 62 in round 3. Lost strokes in every other round. Fun times. That's what you get from Sam Burns. 61 at the Nicklaus course. I mean, this guy is just insanely good at, like, he's a showdown monster. The last 3 times he's played a tournament, he's gained 6 and basically 7 strokes each time in 2 of the last 3. Why am I watching ostrich racing? We've got an ostrich that escaped from the pen in the backyards. This is what you get when you watch Fox Sport at like 11:30 at night. Ostrich is running away. Ostrich racing. All right, Pebble Beach. So he played in 2021 when they only played the 3-course rotation and did solid until Sunday, where he lost 2 strokes on approach on Sunday, but gained a solid 2.5 strokes per round leading up to that. So that might have been, that's intriguing to me. He played pretty solid. He might be, Jesus. I might bet Sam Burns. What is his Power situation? Why has he never played well on Power? Pull up some Power stats here. Just make sure that, see what courses it's bringing in for him. I'm really curious as to what Sam Burns' Power stats are. The last 50 rounds on Power. Go to Fantasy National, yeah. Bring this up. Find Sam Burns. Why is the putting not being good for him? Like, to scroll this far down for Sam Burns is not good. I've lost track again. Yeah, where is he? 26th. Okay, that's better. Why is it bringing in such shitty numbers for him in the model? Were we looking at the wrong guy? It's saying 58th. Strokes gained putting for Sam Burns. Maybe he doesn't have a good sample size. Maybe that's the reason. Sam Ryder, Sam Burns, Sam Burns. Only played 7 rounds of golf. That's why it's taking it down. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. He's typically played okay. He's neutral. So let's click on. So at the Genesis, he's perennially lost strokes. I mean, the last 3 times he's played the Genesis, it's been an abomination of strokes gained putting. That's total. The putting has been okay. The Travelers apparently. But back in the day, there's a lot of green over here. I mean, the AT&T Pro-Am, putting, he was like, okay. He like neutraled it. We prefer him on a better surface, but at 40-1 and with somebody of Sam Burns' caliber on approach with a wedge in his hand, we shouldn't have to scroll too far to see where he is. 9.7% of the time, Sam Burns hitting a good shot from 100 to 150. So sign me up for Sam Burns. Let's take a quick peek at his situation. What happens if we click on his name? I wish it just brought you back to the same page. You didn't have to hit explore as much. But over the last 12 months, good shot rate is sitting here in the 91st percentile. That's good to see. It's very good to see. The mid-range iron stuff, also pretty solid. The further away he gets, the worse it is. It is what it is. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued. He's playing good golf. And we saw him play okay at Pebble Beach back in the day, before a round 3 debacle. He gained a casual 5.5 strokes. So there's some interesting stuff to like about Sam Burns, especially at 40-1. And that's a good number for a good wedge player. And I know he just here we go. All right, Sam Burns, we're going to cash you out if we have to. Cash me outside. Base bet, Sam Burns. Boom. Interesting. Didn't see us getting to that name this week, but here we are. All right, scooting on down. Let's find another name. Sam Burns, baby. What time do we start speaking about him? About 137 minutes for Sam Burns? Sure. Let's sign him up over here. All right. So there's some other guys. Let's just filter in on some guys who are good strokes gained from this range. Let's go less than, say, top 40. And we also want, I mean, why is Aaron Rai not good at hitting good shots? We want good shots. So let's do it less than 40 for good shots as well, inside their wedge range. And then we're going to have a decent amount of guys filtered on. And then we're going to go to guys that are ranked with blanks, because we don't know why it's pulling in only some names. And then we're going to do top 40 course history. Yeah. Okay. Brendan Todd, right in the mix. Tom Kim, right in the mix. Chris Kirk, does he go back to back? Seems like a course that would fit up nicely for him. Webb Simpson and Adam Hadwin, 2 interesting characters as well. All right, so let's go. I mean, Brendan Todd, I don't think he's ever going to win a golf tournament either. He just seems like anytime he gets in the mix, he just ejects. So I love the first round leader thing for him from Sia. Definitely like that. Not a lot of these guys are good power putters. Tom Kim, I don't know how much he's played on power. Hideki's not very good on power. Webb Simpson, a better power player, but we haven't seen any good form from him lately. What is Webb Simpson's? I mean, Webb Simpson with a wedge in his hands, pretty darn solid. Wouldn't that be an hilarious winner this week? Webb Simpson. Webb Simpson. 300-1. Webb Simpson. Played some solid golf around Spyglass once. I mean, Pebble. Why are we looking at Webb Simpson, people? Good wedge player. Samuel Simpson. Who the hell Samuel Simpson? Webb Simpson. Missed the cut in 2023 when he was playing bad. Wasn't playing good golf back then. I don't know what he's got up to recently. Let's see. Has he only played here once? T66 at the Sony, T46 at the Shriners, miscut at the RSM, had the T5 at the Wyndham, where he gained 1 million strokes around the green in round 4. So that's the Webb Simpson situation. I don't see that happening here. The iron play has been rather atrocious. The Wildeye shot 65 in round 1, gaining 3.25, and then kind of the putter just deserted him. What has Webb Simpson got up to? Does he play? He hasn't played yet much, has he? Why would he not play a golf course like this? And why is he the sponsor's invite? Like, that doesn't make any sense either. AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. He has played here a lot, but 2000 and never played well. Yeah. Okay. We're going to leave that alone. What are we doing? Leave this shit alone. Yeah. This makes no sense. All right. What is 2 hours and 26 minutes? That's 146. 142 is what we probably started speaking. 143 for Webb. Tom Kim. Accuracy bonanza. Yes, we're going to see that. Off the tee, the distance, not as much as you'd normally want, but he's also pretty darn solid. One of the best long iron players in the field, 10th in strokes gained from 200, but doesn't hit a lot of good shots. Interesting. Strokes gained from 100 to 150 is 9th in the field and 19th in good shot rate. Tom Kim, ladies and gentlemen. We bet him at the Amex, and he let us down in a big way. But we know he can win. Jesus, there's lots of top 6s and stuff. The Open, the Scott. He likes a good links course, doesn't he? He likes the Scottish Open a lot. That guy plays some good golf around that golf course. I don't think he's ever played here. I don't think he would have made it out here back in 2023. No, did not play here. He's a great wedge player. Won the Shriners. The approach play, missed the cut at the American Express. What happened? The Pete Dye course ate him up. Couldn't putt. Cool. Great. Love that was what let him down. Son of a bitch. Tom Kim. What is his odds to win? Tom, 40-1. 45-1. Wow. Nicolai Hojgaard, better odds than Tom Kim. We've got Sungjae Im at better odds than Tom Kim. Cameron Young at better odds than Tom Kim. 45-1 for Tom Kim is a very appealing proposition to me. I just don't know what we're going to do with him on POA. Has he ever putted on POA before? Has he ever putted on POA before? Tom Kim. Joo Young Kim. 8 rounds of golf on POA, and it's been bad. The Travelers and the Genesis has 1 good round, and then he keeps losing in the others. But man, he's a good wedge player. He's like a Tom Hoge situation, yeah. The approach play is good. Coming off a miscut at the Amex, I feel like he's going to want to prove some stuff. He's got great wedge player, very accurate. He's got a decent amount of distance. The 64th in the field is, I don't think, as representative of his skill set. If we take a look at good shot numbers here, he shows up shortly, doesn't he? Is Tom Kim not as soon as you'd like? Where the hell is he here? Kim. Tom Kim, 9.4% of the time. He's like just over here. There he is, right by Sam Burns, Sam Ryder. So we like what we're seeing in the wedge department. You can get it dialed in. The stuff that we're looking for from Tom. And the distance is fine. It's like just below average. It's totally okay. It's actually, he pops every now and then above distance. I don't think I'm too worried about that. Had a few bad starts to the year. The putter let him down. But if you take a look at when he's lost big time with the putter, let's go to 2023. Came back at the American Express, dominated, did some good stuff. I just wish that the putter wasn't such a problem. But maybe on Poa greens, it figures his shit out. 45-1. Tom Kim, one of the best wedge players in the field. We're going. We're going to have to cash a few of these out, but so far we're just gonna ride. Tom Kim. And I'm just thinking about Lions fans right now again. I'm so sorry, guys. That was brutal. Brutal. All right, let's go ahead and sign up for Tom Kim at 45-1. Brendan Todd, we know what we're getting. A great player, a great wedge player, a great putter on Poa. Average on Poa, not nearly as good as he typically is. Very good around the greens, very accurate, and the course history here is very solid. I just don't see Brendan Todd. He's like one of the guys that when he gets in the mix, it just is not there. He just can't do it. Hideki, what's his situation with the wedge in his hand? Pretty darn solid. It's a lot of good shots from 150 to 200. What's his post is very bad on Poa as well, just like Tom Kim. And I mean, we saw what he could get up. Just 3-putted in 4 holes in the space of 5 holes there. So that wasn't very good. Chris Kirk is a very good wedge. I mean, he's very good with the wedge in his hand. Typically, it's those little roper draws. The putting on Poa greens a massive concern. There's like nobody that profiles out really well here. Holy cow. Like Wu is top, let's just even say top 40. Less than 41 putting. Let's say good shots, or let's just say strokes gained. Less than 41 from a wedge range. Well, let's just make it 31 from across the board. I want to see what on earth we have to deal with here. So Scottie Scheffler leaves the building with a wedge in his hand. I mean, with the Poa putting, but 37th. Rory as well, 32nd on Poa. So these are guys that I kind of fancy. And the strokes gain numbers, Scottie also doesn't hit nearly enough good shots. Russell Henley typically hits a lot of good shots, but he's kind of, the irons have disappeared. Collin, and he putts well on Poa, man. What is Collin's number? Justice. I mean, we're going 22-1 for Collin. And he's a really good iron. He's like one of the better good shot hitters in this department. Do we go back to Collin at 22? I don't even know. What is our current situation with our budget here? All right, let's figure out here. This card went to shit, didn't it? Holy cow. All right, so we're going to get rid of this stuff. Let's figure out our exposure here. I'm not necessarily seeing too many other guys we like. So this is all on ESPN. We don't have to color code anything. So we've got Nicolai Hojgaard at 40. We've got Sam Burns, 40. Tom Kim. Did we bet Tom Kim? Have we bet him? I don't think so. Tom Kim, we've bet Tom Kim. 45-1. Sam Burns, we bet Tom Hoge at 100-1. Yeah, we did that as well. Wow, we've got the Tom. Maybe that's it. I'll have to reach out to Sia and say, I like the 2 Toms instead of the 2 JTs, actually. Then if we go Collin at 22, we're still looking fine. You know, like What is this for 500? We're looking to get to 500. Upped our ante since we sucking so bad. All right, let's actually change it to 550. All the way down here. Yeah, now we're going. Now we're talking. So that card gets us to about 8 times return. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about Collin, but I can see him just totally, after last week, dialing it in on the iron front. And the fact that he's putted well on Poa is intriguing to me, because it means that we've... What did he hit one? Oh, Darbo. What's up, dude? Welcome to the show, Mr. We were popping earlier, dude. We were popping. We were having a good time. About like 8 people in the house. It was kind of impressive. Did not expect to see that many people. We are talking Collin Morikawa putting on these Poa surfaces. Typically much better than we expect. What is he doing all the way down here in 48th though? That's my question. Is this all time? Yeah, this is all time frame. We want the last 2 years only. I think that's what also makes a difference. See what he comes in at then. Much better. Wow. Only 10 rounds though. Yuck. Okay. But holy cow, the Travelers, he putted really nicely there for 2 days out of the 4. Genesis Invitational, he's typically putted well all the time. Very nicely, in fact. So that's doing most of the heavy lifting. Yeah. Collin was... What was his situation at Torrey? Because I don't know if you saw our card, Darby. I'll catch you up real quick. We are rocking and rolling with, so far at ESPN Bet, we've got some guys. That's not it. We got Collin. We're thinking about adding Collin, but we've got Hojgaard, Sam Burns, Tom Kim, and Tom Hoge as our 4 bets so far. We got a lot of room to add another like Top Gun guy into the mix. What we like about Collin, we got the Farmers Open somewhere here too, I think. No, or is that where we've lost track? Nope, we don't want the Farmers. We just want to just go back. Yeah, see what's going on. What did he get up to? What was his problem? So in round 1, he played nicely. Played really nicely, I think, on the north. And then the south, just abomination city. He lost a bunch. This was the bad hole. This is what lost him. Yep, would have made the cut if he never made a double on 17. And a double. Like, he just had 2 really bad holes. 2 doubles. Just really random holes where the approach play left him. The putter left him on the same hole both times. So interesting stuff. I'd have to see something positive from Tom Kim before betting him. Okay. I understand that. I'll try and give you some positives since we're going back into time here. I've kind of run out of enthusiasm to kind of speak about anybody else. We can't find any. I mean, Nick Taylor, maybe. Nick Taylor, strokes gained. I mean, what is his Poa situation? Oh. Tom Kim does look lost. I know. Here's Tom Kim's current situation. 3 starts ago, he won a tournament, though, Darbo. Like, that's the thing. The putting. It's the putting that's just deserted him. And that can flip at any given moment. I mean, look here. Look at what was going on heading into Olympia Fields. And then he kind of flipped it right around going into the Shriners. So you can never quite, like, this guy's putting goes bad and then it turns into a much better performance. Like, it's just streaky. He bounces. I mean, look at this. Sony Open, disaster. Then he went balling out at the stadium course. Like, that's the thing with him. And what my favorite thing about Tom Kim is, Darbo, getting back to some stuff here. Take a look at this. We're looking for wedge players, right? we're looking for really good wedge players. Here's Tom Kim. His 9.4% of the time he's knocking it to good, basically, with a wedge, which is really impressive. The good shot rate is 88th percentile. His strokes gained is 94th percentile with the wedge. We're going to see a lot of wedges this week. Key stats, very important wedge ranges. Wedges. 35% of the shots coming from wedge range. He's good. He's our guy. Maybe if he sees a few putts going in early with giving himself some good opportunities with the wedge, we're in business. He's very accurate off the tee. We know we need some accuracy here. We've got a runaway go-kart on TV here now on Fox. Wow. We saw a runaway ostrich just a little bit ago, so now we've got a runaway go-kart. But the high-end performances just show up out of nowhere. Miscut, T6. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of him. And yes, you said when he plays well, the approach plays good. That makes a lot of sense. But also, like, he gained 7.5 strokes on approach when he won at Summerlin, but he also putted lights out. So it's like a give and take situation. Been some bad numbers, and that's why we're getting a 40-1 on Tom Kim. 45-1. I feel like that's a fair number. What do you mean if the weather's benign? The guy's won at the Scottish. He's like finished 2nd and 6th at the Scottish Open and 2nd at the Open. Isn't that like typically, isn't those like windy conditions? Or at least windier. I wouldn't call this like links golf, but I feel like he's much better at flighting his golf ball than, look at this. At the Open, solid on approach, not the best, but putted nicely on those kind of. Would we classify like the greens at the Open as like Poa-ish? They're not the same kind of grass, but they're slow and weird. What grass did they have at the Scottish Open? What week was the Scottish Open? How do I easily go and find this shizness now? Look what you're doing to me, Darbo. Scottish Open. What would you call it? Last season. Scottish. We can just click on here. This is nice. All right. Scottish Open. They don't have the thing. Why don't they have the? That's lame. Why don't they have the course stuff for the Scottish? What about the Open? Do they have that for us? No, they don't have the stuff. What on earth? Darbo, help me out. What were the greens over there? Red fescue. Like what would you say that's the same as Poa in a way? I don't know. He's never really putted well on Poa, but it's only been 2 tournaments, so I don't know. I like the wedges at 45-1. Give it to me. He's accurate off the tee. I'm fine. We'll take a chance on him. I know he burnt us at the, but not really. I know. I feel you. I'm trying to sell the guy. Okay, that's what we're trying to do over here. He's a beast with a wedge in his hand. Let's find out what Nick Taylor's situation is, and Andrew Putnam. They seem like 2 interesting cats for this situation. Nick, oh God, Nick Taylor alert. Are we going to be betting him? Are we going to be betting Nick Taylor? What's his situation? He's been playing good. I think he missed the cut at the Amex, but that's like whatever. I'll let that slide. Played nicely at the Sony, and he's usually very nice odds. Nicholas Dunlap is 80-1, and Nick Taylor's 100-1. So if we go over to our handy dandy outright card over here and add a Nick Taylor to it, 100-1, I assume FanDuel will bring out a better number. They hung 170-1 for him, I think, at the Sony or the Yeah, that barely changes our situation. It's like a really nice number. Gets us closer to 7, which is our roundabout situation. But all right, let's look at Nick Taylor here. What on earth is his situation? He's a solid wedge player. Nick Taylor. Strokes gained from 100 to 150, 13th. Good shots, 71st. Which one do we like? He's interesting, isn't he? Not very good out there, rough, but the power putting seems like I like that. And the course history. I mean, the course history. I'm really intrigued as to what he's got up to. If you take a look at his recent stuff, missed at the Amex, La Quinta, shot a 70 around La Quinta. That was the day I bet him against Matt Kuchar. He shot a freaking 70. God damn it! Look at the recent form he's been playing, and then it's the only time he shoots -2 strokes gained. Gosh darn it! Look at this course history, boys and girls. 20th in 23, 14th in 22, 39th. He's won this event, and 28th in 19, and then missed the cut. So, like, basically leave the 18 alone. And we've got top 40 finishes as the worst situation, and then a T20 and a win. He's won here. When absolutely nuclear. 63, 66, 69, 70 in 2020. How the hell did he do that? What a crazy... So he's won this event. AT&T. No, we didn't. We want the Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach Pro-Am, and we won 2020. Was that the Nick Taylor? Huh. By 4 strokes. Holy cow. Jason Day finished 8 strokes behind him in 4th place. The more you think about it, the more Scottie hustles everybody. Yeah, I can totally see Scottie Scheffler just missing 6-footer after 6-footer again. Okay, Nick. So the guy gained a ton of strokes putting, as he normally does on random occurrences. Balls out when he needs to. And it's only interesting. So yeah, Nick Taylor's definitely going to make the card. We are going to go bet him right now at 100 to 1. Cash that thing out tomorrow when FanDuel shows up with some 150 to 1 on Nick Taylor. The winner of this event. Sure, sign me up. Let's go. All right, bet placed. We are now in on Nick Taylor. Whew, I like to see that. You know, the putting comes and goes. Solid. I mean, that was the Sony Open. That's where freaking hell. Played nicely at the Sony in 2023. Look at this. Pebble Beach he's played nicely at. Outside of that, yeah, but I mean, when he won, he just did not stop. Did not stop. By 4 strokes. Love to see it. Okay. Maybe we can catch some lightning in a bottle with Nick Taylor. I don't know. And that still leaves us with Collin Morikawa. I don't know what to do with him. We're gonna bet him or not? Are we gonna bet him or not? It really just depends on, do we get a better number than 22? I don't know. What is Collin? So it was all the Genesis stuff. Just going to recap Collin here quickly. Yeah. All Genesis and Travelers. Played nicely at the Travelers, I guess. 1 round. Missed the cut, but he came back storming. So the last few times he's putted on Poa, he's putted really nicely. What was LACC? Was that bent? I'm curious. So we'll see. Why did we not get any of that stuff? We want the US Open. The US Open was here. And we want this thing. How did Collin even do there? I don't even know why I'm looking, but that's California. The grass, greens, pure distinction bent. Okay, that was not what we want. So it doesn't really matter. I think I'm going to bet Collin. I mean, the putting and the wedges. I mean, this guy, the proximity numbers, the strokes gain numbers, he's a really good wedge player. And his biggest deficiency being a putter is much better on power. Very small sample size, limited courses. Yeah. Fancy Darbo being wrong, huh? Must not be. We're only in hour 3 right now, so maybe we can come in hour 4 and kind of figure this out. But I don't know how much longer I'm going to be on here. We haven't even spoken about Sahith. We have to speak about him too, because he's one of the best wedge players in the field as well. Hits a ton of good shots and should typically putt well on power after a disastrous week at Torrey. Gosh darn it. He missed out a 66-1. Oh God. Here we go. We're going to have to find some better numbers, but we're going to bet Sahith Theegala as well, friends. Okay. So Collin, Tom Hoge at 100. That's interesting. Okay. So Collin Morikawa. Let's finish up with him, and then we're going to go to Nick. I mean, I'm all over the place. Yeah, it does seem like a good place for Sahith. He sucked it up last week, dude. Very disappointing from him. But he can spike at any given moment. I think I like him around here a lot. All right, so we spoke about Nick Taylor, probably at what, 175 minutes? No, we just spoke about him. So it would have been about 177. No, 167. Because that's the number. Okay. 167 for Nick. Who else are we speaking about? Back to Collin again at 32 minutes. Spoke about him first. I don't know if I was as glowing about him then. All right, let's go to Sahith Theegala here at 2 and 172 minutes. Let's pull him up. I think we're going to see some good stuff here. I don't think, has Sahith ever played here before? He has, and he's played well. Oh, that's Brendan Todd. Has not played well, yeah. Interesting. Let's see. I did not know Nick Taylor won this event. I think I did, but I forgot. Oh, the only time he played was with the MDF. Made cut, did not finish. Pebble Beach, he sucked it up everywhere across the board, and then went to Spyglass and dominated. Made the cut, didn't make the cut. Tough scenes. Plays well on power. Great wedge player. Iron play has been very bad the last little while. I don't know why I keep getting random percentages and stuff in here. All right, man. I wish I could stay, but I'm also, dude. Hit it hard last night. Oh boy. Well, sweet dreams, Darbo. Get some good rest, dude. No need to stay up with me. We're about done, yeah. Just wrapping up our show, basically. I think it's going to be one of the last guys I speak about anyway. I appreciate it, buddy. Have a good night. Always love it when you guys show up in here. We had CA in here earlier. We had Scott Holdridge in here. Got T-Dak. Got a whole bunch of dudes. It was lots of fun. Lots of fun. I'm enjoying the Sunday night stream. It's been a good time. So, yeah, Sahith, it's just basically trying to catch lightning in a bottle. I love the fact that we're going to – was 40 net is one of his rounds? Putting, Theegala. Where's he? Over here. 20 rounds. Boom. Was 40 net? Is 40 net not a – what grass is 40 net? Is it bent? Poa. So Boa Bentgrass, what does that mean? I don't know. Interesting. I like that though. I think I like him on these Poa greens in California. It doesn't matter what the surface is. Just give me Sahith Theegala in California. Some good stuff. Some good stuff here from Sahith. I'm gonna have to change this quickly. I like it. At 66, I feel like that number is going to get absolutely roasted as the week goes on. The guy's got win equity. We know that. So I think Sahith's going to be on the card for sure. And now we're dealing with interesting situation because I don't know if I want to go to Collin. We've still got tons of space to just fire away at longer shots if we go with Sahith and leave Collin alone. If we don't go to Collin, if we take him out, we still got tons of space. Tons of space for other guys. I'm wondering if we just fire at these mid-range guys and hope for the best. I'm wondering. I am really wondering. But we got to make our Sahith bet first. I like his chances. I like his chances here a lot. 66? Please. Please. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous numbers. Actually going to bet a little bit more than normal because he's my favorite player. All right, so we're in on Sahith. If we were to go other spots, where would we go? I think we can still go to Collin, though. Even if we take him away, it takes us to 0.6.5. But I'm thinking we can probably catch a few strays on Nick Taylor, potentially Tom Hoge. Maybe we just cash out Tom Hoge. That gets us right back to 7 flat return, 7 times return. Currently sitting at 6.5. We'll see. We'll have to see. Let's get back to the final few minutes here and just see what's cooking. Sam Ryder, what's his situation? Oh, goodness me. He's a very good wedge player. Very good on Bermuda. I mean, good on Poa. Sam Ryder. Got 2 Sams. Got 2 Sams in the field. Another strokes gain narrative situation. Sam Ryder, 200 to 1. What are we doing? What is his course history like over here? Very bad. Why? What is his problem? What is his problem? Sam Ryder hasn't really balled out lately. Only played here twice, missed the cut in 21, and has played really badly on Pebble in the both times he's played here. So that's not good. But that was in 2021. That's now 2024. Sam Ryder's game has evolved. His approach play, let's take a look at his recent approach play, has been really consistent, actually. Not nearly as upsidey as we okay. Yeah, not nearly as like upsidey. The RSM was solid. So his only tournament he's played was the American Express, and that was a bit of a rough situation. Doesn't even have, I mean, the PGA Tour, they need to get their stuff together. There's no stats for round 1 because it didn't tie out. So that's great. But he's been flirting with it, and he's had 2 top 13 finishes in the last 2 starts on the full swing. I get it, but he's not afraid to go and get in the mix. 4th at the Farmers last year. That was nice. I'm curious. because the good shot rates for Sam Ryder, he's probably going to show up on this list, isn't he? Wherever this thing is. If we find Sam Ryder, I think we'll see some really good stuff on the approach front with the wedges. He's a really good wedge player. From the fairway, from 100 to 150, Sam Ryder is pretty darn solid. Hangs around Tom Kim, hangs around Rory McIlroy, Sam Burns, all the guys we're kind of liking this week. Tony Finau, we haven't spoken about Tony, have we? That might be a guy that we have to lean into as well. Sam Ryder at 200 to 1. That's a crazy number. That's going right along with the massive long shots that we've been dealing with lately. Sam Ryder is going to make the card. Welcome to the club, Sam Ryder, 200 to 1. We're going to have to delete a few of these, but we'll officially announce that on Twitter if need be. And see if we can maybe find better numbers and keep the whole card going. If we don't play Collin and we play Sam, we can probably do that. I think we might actually get better numbers on Tony. I don't know if we even want to go to Tony Finau. That's going to be a disaster. Tony Finau is 30 to 1, which is much better than Collin at 22 to 1, especially after we've added Sam Ryder at 200 to 1. What are we doing? I don't know. No course history, but I mean, if we take a look at these good shot numbers and the strokes gained from 100 to 150 and his Power putting, 7th in putting on Power. He can putt on Power really nicely. So maybe we get a bit of love here. I think we can see him doing some damage on the Power side of things. Okay. Let's go Sam Ryder. He's always been our 200 to 1. Maybe bet $3 on him. So if we take Collin out of the mix and we do Tony, 30, what did we say, 30 or 28? 30. 30, that gets us right back in here at around about 7 to 1. So we got 8 guys, the good old breaking 100 engage 8 situation. So it's between Tony and Collin. I don't know what Tony can do on these Power greens, folks. It's been an abomination, an absolute abomination from Tony Finau on these greens. If we look at what he got up to here, has he played this tournament much? He putted nicely in 2019. That was the last time he played here. But, I mean, the American Express, he was neutral. Like, he lost it this week. He completely lost it on the greens. One of the worst putting performances I've ever seen from someone to finish T6. But it wasn't as that was Jaeger. Yeah, Tony Finau lost basically 3 strokes over the course of the week on the South course, which was the 72nd worst putting performance outside of Xander. Xander had a worse putting performance than Tony. Woo, boy. But I think if we pull up Tony's numbers, I mean, he's perfectly suited for this course. He's got tons of distance. Where is he? Why is he not showing up on the thing here? Let's sort this out by rankings. Why is he so far down the board? Is it because of the yeah, it's because of the putting. 87th out of 90 people. And then it's about as bad on Power. It's worse on Power. Like, it's not his surface at all. But his ball striking is just through the roof. It's a really good 10th in the field in good shots from wedge range. Pretty darn solid. Like, the strokes gain numbers from any bucket is ridiculous. Wedges being his worst stat. Can he fix the putting? I don't think he can. It's all the worst stuff we've ever seen. It was just brick after brick after brick. Brick after brick after brick from Tony. Especially once things got, like, he putted nicely on the front. What is this, round 4? Yeah. And then he lost strokes putting on basically every single putt if he didn't gain more than 0.06. So that's basically neutral. Like, he never gained more than 0.07 on the back 9. And that's not good at all. Lost 2 strokes putting on the back 9 alone. Gained 1.2 on the front. So, like, he could rolled a few in early and then it just instantly changed. Hit 7 of 9 greens. What are we doing, Tony? Round 3. It's streaky, and it's just like, it's right from that range that's scary. It's like the scary 7-footers. You just can't figure it out. I don't know. It's between him and Collin to make the card, and he makes the card work, but we might just leave him alone and just fire at some other people as well. We haven't even looked at Tommy Fleetwood or Cameron Young or Keegan Bradley or Jordan Spieth. Jesus, okay, we've got some work to do, yeah. We've got some work to do. Sam Ryder. We were speaking about Sam Ryder at probably about 180 minutes, right? I don't know. These timestamps are going to be pretty bad. Here's what it is. Tony Finau, we were speaking about him at 183 minutes. Dustin Rose, great course history, obviously 1 year last time he played. But not playing good golf right now. At all. Who are we going to go to next? Let's go to Sepp Straka first. I'm kind of curious as to what his situation is. Been playing good golf coming into the week. Kind of suits this course, not a good wedge player. What's his power putting like? Good on power. Interesting. We've seen him play well before. So let's take a look at Sepp. What was his situation last week as well? Like, just absolutely let us down, man. Oh, yeah, here's Joseph Bramlett, T25. Couldn't figure it out on the he birdies 18 and we cash a plus 750 T20. He didn't. So, yay. Sepp Straka, where are you? All the way down the board. We just had him going. That's what we saw for Bramlett Sepp. Sepp Straka, plus 4. Yikes. Not good. 75 around the south course. That was bad. And one over on the north. Just, what was he doing? Did not show up. Did not feel like showing up at all. Finished 4th at the Farmers last year, misses the cut by like 1 million strokes, like 8 strokes. What a mess. What a mess the Farmers was. What a complete mess. So Sepp going to show up here at the Genesis. How's he putted? Nicely. Okay. That's good to see. AT&T. Not good in 2019 though. That was the last time he played here. That's fine. Don't think Sepp was the same guy. The putter. Look at that. Bright green stuff there at the John Deere when he won. Thank you, Sepp. That was nice of you to do that for us. Then the Century. Played solid. Played solid golf. All 4 days. Nothing amazing. But the approach play was looking good till Sunday. So I don't know. Like, this guy just shows up out of nowhere. If we look at the John Deere Classic, he finished 64th. He finished 38th. He finished miscut, like leading up into that. What did he do at the Travelers, which apparently is power? I don't know about that, but gained, kind of. Nothing too crazy. The Open finished 2nd. I don't know why we go into the Open. Like, maybe it's because of Tom Kim. But yeah, like Sepp Straka does his thing on these kind of courses. I think I like him on a positional course versus like if you think about the Honda Classic, where he's finished 5th and 1st in the last 2 years, this could be a similar kind of a situation. What's Sepp Straka's situation when it comes to approach play? Not bad, not great. Strokes gained are solid, sitting 65th percentile. But that's about it. Not necessarily the best wedge player, is he? But he can absolutely roll it in. What is his odds? I don't think we're going to bet him, though. Unless we keep scrolling and we start finding a number for Sepp Straka. Where the hell is he now? Find Sepp. 66, yeah. Okay. We'll leave that alone. I'm not necessarily that enticed about Sepp Straka at 66. And we was talking about him at, 187 minutes, 188 minutes. 187, let's go with. Justin Rose, just not playing good enough right now. Winner here last year. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's go to Tommy Fleetwood. What is his situation? Why is he so low on the model? 29th in the model. Not a good easy scoring guy. Obviously, that's like the Shane Lowry Hideki blueprint. Not a good wedge player. What is up with his iron play? Even though, what does his iron play look like lately? Solid. So what's the deal? That's Sahith Theegala. What are we doing here? Still, Tommy's irons from the wedge range, not very good. 24th in the field in recent approach play. He's typically not very good out of the rough, which is interesting, which I don't think will be that big of a deal. But even out of the fairway, his strokes gained from 100 to 150 is very mediocre. And he's putting on Power 27th, where it's typically 21st. There's just not a lot to like about Tommy. Is he ever going to win on the PGA Tour? I don't know. Tommy Fleetwood's also 40 to 1. Like, that just doesn't really scream anything to me. If we take a look at Tommy Fleetwood, what is his good shot rates here? 8% from 100 to 150. 150 to 100. It's like, what is his deal? I mean, he just won over in Europe. I mean, Dubai. Gained on tons on approach. But what's his situation? From 100 to 150, there's nothing above the 75th percentile. He hits a lot of bad shots. Like, a lot of bad shots. Jeez, Tommy. What is the deal with the bad? Like, you can't be having bad shots with the wedge around Pebble. You're going to find yourself in some seriously bad problems. The good shots, 68th percentile. It's not even that good. Strokes gained is 50th percentile. Sahith is hitting 4% more good shots than Tommy. So 4% over 72 course round is like 3 strokes of like dead gimmies. And then the strokes gained is still not good. So that's not good on Tommy's front. So we can leave Tommy alone. Tommy's timestamp is what, 100 and what are we sitting at here? 190. 191. Let's dive into, we don't like Brendan Todd, we spoke about, Mackenzie's, whatever. Bo Hostler's playing good golf. I don't think he's ever going to win a tournament. Just showed up out of nowhere. Plays Spyglass apparently very well once on a few times, but not Pebble. What's his wedge situation? Not a very good wedge player either, but he seems to be playing much better on approach now. I just don't think he'll ever win a tournament. Keegan has never played Spyglass. He played, I guess, in the Open in 2018. Didn't play very well, according to this. Let's take a look at Keegan. In the Open, is that why? Yeah, missed the cut at the US Open, yeah. That doesn't really matter, though. What is Keegan's situation when it comes to his approach play? Like, where does his strengths lie? Yeah, proximity numbers are pretty good at 20.5 feet on average, which is not too shabby. It's inside, it's much better. It's like 88th percentile. The good shot rate's below average, 47th, not good. Doesn't hit too many bad shots, solid stuff. Strokes gained is sitting around 70th percentile. So he's consistent. Doesn't hit a lot of good shots. He's not gonna dial it in on the wedges. We're looking for guys to dial it in on the wedges. And Keegan has been a bit of a let us down after the Sony T2. He didn't quite take care of business last week, and that was a problem. I don't know. The approach play's been great. The putting's been solid, but not last week, I guess. Does he bounce back? Who the hell knows? What on earth did he get up to last week? Keegan, dude, made the cut, played some good golf, lost tons of strokes putting. 3 strokes putting in 3 rounds. Bogeying par 5s in round 4. So that's not good, Keegan. I don't know. I never get Keegan right. He always finishes second to Max every time I bet him. So we'll have to leave Keegan alone. Even, what's Keegan? 66-1. Right in that zone. We'll leave him alone. We'll leave Keegan alone. And while we're at it, I'm going to look up Bez. What the hell, dude? Look at this. Look at what Bezzy did here. So he goes and shoots a 72 around the South Course, which was a solid situation. You know, like he was course average for that day. But he bogeyed 3 of the last. He lost strokes like significantly in 4 of the last 5 holes on Thursday. Then in round 2, he goes on to the easiest course on the planet basically, and pars the first 9 holes. Birdies 10, bogeys 11 and 12, birdie, and then shoots a 70 to miss the cut by 1. So shout out to Bezzy, who let us down big time on the North Course. I don't know if he's going to play well at Pebble. What is his situation? I don't think he's a very good wedge player either. I don't know. He's not bad, but the good shot rates are okay. He's the 80th in strokes gained with the wedge, though. Interesting. Now, I don't know what he does on power greens. Typically, I don't think he's the best power putter. Geez, there's a lot of guys in this field compared to normal for, I guess, whatever. Okay. 43rd on power. He's not actually as good as you'd imagine. 31st in general putting. So, yeah. Bez doing his thing. 100. We're in we're almost at 200. It's like 195 now. And that was after we were doing somebody else. Who the hell else were we doing? It was Tommy Fleetwood, Sam Ryder. It was Keegan. So we're going to do Keegan at like 190, 93. Becky, I'm out on. Chris Kirk, I don't know. Like one of the best wedge players in the field. 4th in strokes gained from 100 to 150. But on power putting, he's 66th. His course history, 40th and 27th on Spyglass. I don't know about Chris Kirk. Don't know about Chris Kirk. Don't know. All right, let's go to Jordan Spieth. Also, I'm really interested in Matthew Fitzpatrick, but I don't think I'll ever get to him at that number. Matt Fitzpatrick, 35-1. What the hell? Oh, Jordan Spieth, 18-1. Yeah, because we've got ridiculous course history. But the game is just not available right now. And what is like Jordan's typically like his profile doesn't grade out well here, but he somehow plays well here. I don't know. Like, has it been Spieth's success been because of his iron play? Insane. So the last time he played, he finished 63rd. That wasn't good. The iron play was bad. Not very good at all. In 2022, he was like holing out iron shots from the fairway, I guess. and had that 63 around Pebble in round 3 to kind of get him right in the mix. And then I think he lost to Tom Hoge. So that's the situation there. 2021, he finished 3rd. And on approach, he was barely ever doing anything. Spyglass seems to be his jam. Guy balled out on Spyglass multiple times. At Spyglass in 2021, he gained 6 strokes. Spyglass in 2022, he gained 1.9. Spyglass in 2023, 1.7. Spyglass in 2020, 1.9. Like, whenever he's played badly, he's still played well at Spyglass. Spyglass in 2019, 3.7. Spyglass in 2018, the first time he played, he lost there. So since that, he's been really solid on Spyglass. So potentially a showdown play for us on Spyglass early in the week. At 18-1, I'm not entirely sure I like that number for a guy that anytime he's been in the mix, just completely can't take care of business for us. Since the Valspar, Jordan Spieth has not been very good at winning tournaments. And it's been a long time since. It's been a long time since Jordan Spieth has won a tournament. All right, last few guys here, and then we're going to... Brian Harman needs to be mentioned as well, I think, for sure. And then we can probably start getting out of here. Peter Malnati, I don't know. Grillo. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's go back to the top here where we were, and then we're going to start wrapping things up. Cameron, how do we not speak about Cameron Young? Cameron Young at 202 minutes. Cameron Young. Jordan Spieth, Cameron Young. Okay, Cameron. What are you offering this year? I think he's typically been a very good wedge player. Take a look at these good shot numbers. Cameron Young should show up, I think. Seeing Matt Kuchar, seeing... Oh, boy. Where's Young? No, it's gone south. South. His approach play has not necessarily been the best thing in the world, but the good shots have been bad, but the strokes gained is like 87th percentile. So what is that? He's just not hitting them stiff anymore. He used to be one of the better guys hitting him close, and now. So has he ever played here? He's never played here before. What's wrong with his game? The putting has been a very bad situation for the last little while. Hasn't got much better since the RSM. Hasn't got much better since the Century. Played quite nicely out in Dubai, but I guess still couldn't quite finish the deal. What is his deal? The game seems to have bounced back on the approach side of things. I'd imagine the Dubai situation is a lot of like 7,400 yard golf course, so that's a lot more long irons. Interesting. Lots of strokes gained off the tee. The putting was not there. Hasn't been there for a long time. All right, leaving Cameron Young alone. I mean, what are we going to get him at even? Cameron Young, 33-1. Not worth the squeeze, in my opinion. Definitely not worth the squeeze. So we'll leave him alone. Cameron Young, 203 minutes, probably. 203. Now Jordan Spieth. Let's move on. Corey Connors. So. Not a good power putter. Leave him alone. Course history, completely atrocious. Matthew Fitzpatrick. What on earth are we going to do with this guy? Is there a Harbour Town comp involved? He's a horrible wedge player. Guess what? Harbour Town requires a bunch of wedges. He's won there before. Like, what on earth, man? What on earth? The Harbour Town it's that long iron range, 175 to 200, like tons and tons of those shots. So I'm out on Fitz this week. I mean, the wedges are disgustingly bad. Harris English's wedges are disgustingly bad. So we easy fades on those situations for Fitz. At a casual 204 minutes. Yeah. Easy there. 205 minutes for Harris English. Leave him alone. Let's speak about Brian Harman until we see that he's not very good with the wedge in his hand either for some reason, and not very good on POA either. Brian Harman has played around Pebble and not very successfully. So that's not good. Seamus Power is so interesting. Peter Malnati. Bezi's played nicely. I think as Bezi's played here. What did he get up to when he played here? Does he come back and win a tournament all of a sudden after a bit of a letdown last week? Or did he play in the Open? Was that the tournament he played in? But I think he's got Spyglass numbers. Yeah, he's got Spyglass numbers, so he should have played here. Yep, he's played here. T14 in 2022. Putted lights out around Pebble in round 3. Around the green game connoisseur, and loved off the tee stuff here. The approach play, not so hot, but I mean, if he's solid with the wedges, Christiaan Bezuidenhout. I mean, this is we just like 80 to 1. I don't know. I would have liked something in the hundreds. I don't know. Cameron Davis has played nicely here before. He's all over the place. Putting has been lights out lately. Not very good on power typically, so leave him alone. I think that's going to be it from me. I honestly do. I don't see too much else good. I mean, Carl Yuan. What are we doing with that guy? Just hits nukes off the tee kind of thing, and then hits so many good shots. He's played okay, not really that good. You know who's interesting? I mean, this could be a really... Oh, no, that's not Matthew Neesmith. I was thinking of Nate Lashley. Let's take a look here. At Matthew Neesmith. I'm kind of curious as to what his situation is. Then we're going to start wrapping this up here because I'm getting tired. 55. Yeah, nothing too crazy. But I think he's played some good golf recently. I'm also going to start getting some music to play in the backgrounds, I think. That'll be fun. But I don't know if it's going to smooth things up or slow them down for the computer. Matthew Neesmith. 15th at the Zozo. Yep, not much liking over there. We'll leave him alone. At 326, 327. Dogs are barking outside. Here's what it is. 200 and what is that? 208. All right, we've got to do Maverick at 209. Maybe make him our last play, yeah. Oh, my guy asked me about Kurt Kuriyama as well. We'll do that after Mav. Let's take a look. So Maverick McNealy hasn't been playing that good lately. Made the cut last week until he was T10 going into the week, into Sunday, and then just completely nuked himself. So let's take a peek. I mean, the guy's played well. Yeah, we know. I think he's like, dad's a billionaire and lives nearby this golf course. So Mav. Wundertanda on the Maverick Ancliffe. Interesting. Yeah, also there's a little Phoebe. Take a look at Phoebes. Say hi to the people, Phoebe. Why's your brother barking out there, huh? What's he doing? What's Ernie doing out there? Say hello. Is Maverick going to win this week? Let's take a look. of Mav at this golf course. He finishes off second place in 2021. He's got a T33 in 2022, a T5 in 2020. And it's all been putting. I mean, the guy gained tons and tons of strokes putting in round 4 at Pebble. He's figured it out around the greens. He typically dials it in on the approach side. Then he withdrew in 2023. So I don't know. I just don't think he can win either, because I bet him to win the damn thing. And what did he do in 2021 to get there? Like, he came firing up the leaderboard and gained 4.61 strokes. So I don't know. I think, these guys that show up early, his results have got like gradually worse over here too. So I think he gets like the nerves going on. So Phoebe, I don't know if we're going to go with Mav with you on my lap here. Although he's a good course history fit. You do have that going for him. But anyway, people didn't like the dog. We'll get out of here. I love you. Moving on. All right. So pull this back in here and get out of here after we do. Mav is done. And then we wanted to do Kurt Kitayama for my main man. At 211 minutes into the show, Kurt Kitayama has got what going on? Spyglass course history, nice. Not so good at Pebble. Kitayama. T18, T29, miscut. Last few starts at Pebble. He's also one of these guys. You'd imagine he plays better at courses that are longer for him, but he tends to, he's gained off the tee pretty nicely in the T18 start. Got off to a bit of a rough start in 2022. Not the best. And since the Zozo, it seems to have found his game a bit. The approach play has been pretty darn good at the Sentry and the Sony. Things are looking solid. The putter has been like all over the place. It's been very bad, actually, considering he's gained 1.7 and 2.9 in the last 8 rounds. Still lost 2.7 strokes total. And leading into the break, that was not very good either. What's his putting been like on Poa? Not good at all. So that's going to be a no from me, Bob. The putting has not been very good on these Poa surfaces. He's gained once in the last few. Yeah, he's only gained once. In the 5 times we've got recorded golf for him, Kurt Kitayama has lost 4.6 strokes in the 5 rounds of Pebble Beach golf putting. So I don't know if I'm a big believer in him on the putting greens over in California. So that's that situation. And that's going to be it from me. I think we're done here. Thank you all for tuning in. That was lots of fun. We got some good stuff going on early in the episode there, and thoroughly enjoyed all the guests and superstars that showed up in the chat. All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for supporting the show. Got the PGA Rotorballer PGA show tomorrow with me and Spencer on the Rotorballer channel. We finally hooked up our StreamYard into the Rotorballer channel there, so that's going to be great. It's going to be fun to start doing that show. It's been getting some good traction. Really hoping you guys pull through for that tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern. That's the time we do it. It's going to be a 30 to 35, 40-minute show going forward. We kind of got carried away last week because me and Spencer love talking about golf. But we'll give you everything you need to know and tune in for that. Then Back 9 Bets coming up on Tuesday at 7 Eastern as always. And then I'll be doing the celebrity guest show on Wednesdays this time because I think doing it on a Monday just doesn't quite work for me. It just doesn't make sense to do 2 shows all in one go. So we'll do like an ownership kind of final thing with DFS, and then we'll do the Hacking It in Hollywood to end things out. That'll be lots of fun. We're doing the Family Guy with Scott Holdridge this week, who was in the chat. So that's going to be lots of fun to kind of see which names he comes up with, get his final takes on a few DFS plays. And that's that. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a long 3 hours and 35 minutes, but I'll be adding the timestamps to the show here after this, and we can use that as your little research tool. And thank you all for hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel. We're trying to grow this bad boy as much as we can, and we'll see you tomorrow or / today. But for now, we'll catch you later.